What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Hopefully we are live and you can hear me. Let me know in the chat. Let's see who's here. We've got a couple people in the chat here already. I will talk with you guys in a minute. Let me briefly describe what we're going to be doing tonight. This is just a normal live stream. I'm going to be chatting with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask them. And I'll also be doing a little bit of Q&A tonight. But mostly we are going to be going through all of these films, and we're going to go as long as it takes to get through every single one of these. If you missed the video I posted yesterday, I just acquired these films through kind of an unfortunate circumstance. Recent acquaintance, new friend of mine, unfortunately passed away, and his family wanted his films to go to someone who would appreciate them. So I was able to purchase most of his collection. I have here. I did leave some of his stuff that I already had, and also some of the non-boutique stuff that the family still wanted to watch. I did leave that stuff with them. Pretty much all of this is going to be boutique stuff from Criterion and Kino and Warner Archive, stuff like that. There are two exceptions that I'll probably get out of the way first because they're fun, and I'm glad I grabbed those. Let's see who's here. All right, we've already got people chiming off in the chat. Code Anime Fan, welcome. Kevin House, always great to see Kevin. He's always popping in. He says, hello, everyone. Nothing I enjoy more than talking about film. Me too, man. Me too. That's why I'm still doing this channel. That's why we're still going strong, because it's just fun. I mean, no other reason to do it. I'm not making any money or you know, saving the world or curing cancer or anything. Just enjoying it, having fun. And that's because of you guys. If no one was listening, I don't think it would be as much fun. Code Anime Fan, R.I.P. Paul. I saw your tribute video to him and it was very emotional. He sounded like a great guy. He was a really great guy. I wish I had gotten to know him more, but it was just a short time, and looking forward to learning more about him through the films that he decided to own, that he liked enough or was interested enough in to own personally. So really looking forward to getting to dig through these. Obviously, I looked at all these when I took them, but I'm looking forward to digging more into these and talking with you guys about them, because you guys are super knowledgeable about film, especially the Criterion Collection. I got a lot of great guys in here some of you who are Criterion complete, and some of you who have been collecting Criterion for years and know a lot more about it than I do. So please chime in with any knowledge or thoughts or opinions you have about any of the films I share. I'm not going to go too fast. I'll pull one out and we can talk about it for a little bit, and then I'll keep going. Stephen Murphy says that he can hear me, so thank you for that. I always appreciate someone popping in. Jolly Tyler, which is not a name I recognize from the live streams, welcome. Says they've been waiting for the live stream for a while. Good to know. Thanks, man. Or not. I always say thanks, man, as just like an expression that I say. I don't even think it doesn't even like register as a gender expression to me, but I should probably get out of the habit of doing that, because it's not good to assume. But thank you for waiting. We're on East Coast time, so starting at 8:30 Eastern. SC says they're getting close to complete. Someday. Oh yeah. I mean, we're all in that boat. I don't actually know. I don't know if it's my goal to ever be complete. Because if there's films I just flat out don't like, I don't necessarily need to have them in my collection, but I don't know. I've only been collecting for 2 years, and I don't know what we are. I think we're well over 300 titles, especially with this. There's about over 100 titles here, so I don't know. I should do let me know if you guys want to see a complete Criterion Collection video in the near future. Maybe after July, when things settle down a little bit, I'll be able to get a video out for my complete collection. Just go through all of that in one video. It'll be a long one, but yeah, that'll be fun. Let me see. People are already seeing things over here, so we should probably go ahead and jump into it. Jolly Tyler says, I see the Breathless Blu-ray. Yes, good eye. He also says, I'm a man, LOL. Good. I'm glad I didn't put my foot in my mouth. Stephen Murphy says, it was my birthday today. That's amazing. Oh, and you're chiming into this? You should be out having a good time, partying with your friends. But I appreciate it. I'll take it. The more the merrier. Glad you could join us tonight. Always appreciate your insight, and you feel free to leave as many comments in the chat as you can. Ooh, Dave Anderson, exceptionally unfortunate cause for this video, but I would hope your friend would look down and say, yes, that is what he would have wanted. Have a good time until I see you again. Enjoy the new films. I hope so too. I mean, I want to do right by him. I want to, you know, show respect to his collection. And like I said, remember him this evening with you guys. And we'll just dive right in. We'll go ahead and people are still already seeing things to the left. So I am going to get the two out of the way that aren't boutique, which is strangely, oh yeah, he does. So yeah, someone just mentioned it. Code Anime Fan sees it over here. This is the complete Batman collection on Blu-ray, the 1960s Batman show, which is a beautiful collection. I know there's a bigger like box collection of this, but I actually appreciate the compactness of this. It's just got the 3 seasons. Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. The Joker right there. Love the pop art design on that. Looks really good. And there's also a little episode guide, which is always handy. I love when they include these so I don't have to Google every single time I want to find an episode. I have never seen this show, actually. I've seen the movie a few times. Love the movie. But yeah, I've never dove into the actual episodic TV show. I've heard that it doesn't binge well, so I will probably, you know, watch episodes at my leisure. And I do want to introduce my kids to this because my kids, like, I didn't grow up with it, but it would be nice to raise my kids on this when they're a little bit older. They're still a little young right now, but that's Batman, the complete television series, and also he had the complete 60s Spider-Man show. I made sure to ask. Before I grabbed these, I was like, "Are you sure your daughter's not going to want to watch these?" And she was sure. She was pretty sure that, you know. She said, "You know, we won't watch that. It's fine. You can take it." So I grabbed the 60s Spider-Man show and the 60s Batman show, which are both great pieces. And I'm very excited to have the Spider-Man show because, as you can see back there, my copy that I had growing up is missing the slipcover and is also missing the booklet. It's an incomplete version. We were not kind, and we didn't take care of that thing, but we did watch them. And this one's in much better condition, and I'm happy to have it. That's actually a pretty, like a collector's item these days. I think it's hard to get your hands on. So that looks great. Very excited to have that. Love that show. My kids love that show. My son and daughter really like Rhino for some reason. They always want to watch the Rhino episodes. And my daughter loves Green Goblin. I've got all the Marvel Legends, and they like to run around the house flying the Goblin on his glider. I got to show those at some point because I know some of you are into toy collecting too, and I dabble in just Spider-Man, specifically Marvel Legends, and I'll show those at some point. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Of course. I'm thinking of getting the Dark Knight trilogy Blu-ray set from Amazon from the Prime Day deals. That's right. Let me know, guys, if there are any good Prime Day deals today, because I've been staying away because I'm already hip deep in buying Criterions for the Criterion 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble. Hope everyone is having a good time with that. I've already shot 2 videos. I've got to get the other one edited that I did with Grace and get that posted. I'm still going to go back to another store with John, and then I'm going to go tomorrow actually to another store with Evan, who's a friend of the channel. He's been on before, and got to get those out before July's over, and then nobody cares about Criterion anymore. I wish I could get people to care about Criterion throughout the rest of the year, but yeah, this is the biggest month for me, along with November, when people are super pumped about Criterion. So I'll be getting those videos out and continue to do that. But yeah, let me know if there's any good Prime Day deals that I should be aware of, or maybe don't, because I probably shouldn't spend any more money this month because I've spent so much on Criterion. Kevin House, love that Spider-Man theme song. My friend used to laugh at the lyric "Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man." Dude, the Spider-Man theme song is I think the best superhero TV theme song of all time. It's incredible, and it's still great to this day. And I recently did a top 10 superhero theme songs on the other channel that I co-host on, Geekvolution, and that was my number 1. Spoiler alert. I love that theme song. Just got a super chat from Gus Amaretti. Thanks so much, Gus. I really appreciate that. You did not have to do that. $4.99. Bring on the Criterions, he said. Look at that. Wow. I've never seen a super chat in my cool animation thing here. That's awesome. Thank you so much. When I finally earn enough from YouTube you have to like hit a certain benchmark before they can even send you your first check. But when I finally do earn my first check, 100% of that YouTube money will go straight back into buying more movies so that I can do more reviews and show some more stuff to you guys. I'm just going to keep it going. Let me see, when's our boy Connor going to be back on the show? That is true, Eric. Very good question. He's obviously across the country in Oregon. I won't be able to do in-store video with him, but I've got to do a video with him, at least letting him talk about everything he's picked up, because I know you guys are going to be waiting for that. I need to get in touch with him and get that set up, because it wouldn't be a Criterion month if I didn't talk to Connor on camera. I'm obviously talking about him. He's been sending me stuff he's been picking up, but I want to show you guys too. SC says, I think I've already picked up 20 things from Barnes & Noble. Wow. I'm not that... I haven't done that much damage yet, but between me and my wife, we've done some damage. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and open our first. I've got a stack of Digipacks here. I'm going to go with the Digipacks first. These are all Criterion Digipacks. This first one I'm not familiar with at all, so you're going to have to tell me about it. Real quick, Brent, first time at your live stream. Love your channel and all things physical media. Yes. Welcome, Brent. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Let me know if this is also your first time being on a live stream. This is only my third one, so don't be shy. Pop up and I'll chat with you. I really appreciate you guys popping in. This first one here is the Battle of Algiers, which is directed by Guillo Pontecorvo. Am I saying that right? Going to be a lot of probably mispronunciations this evening. Normally, before I buy Criterions, I do some research, see if it's something for me. Obviously, I didn't have time to do that before I pick these up, so we are just going to power through, and I'm going to rely on you guys to teach me things about these. This is a beautiful, gorgeous Digipack, though. Look at the back of that. I love the colors and the style of this Digipack. It's got the chapters on the back, which is really cool. And then you've got a nice, thick booklet, very thick, which looks great. And then you've got your discs, and the black and white art behind the pop of color discs looks really good. Battle of Algiers. I don't even know what country this is from. This is in French with Arabic, in French and Arabic with English subtitles. Interesting. So that is the first one we will go through. I can't wait to learn more about that one. It seems like it's one of the most influential political films in history. Actually, I have heard of this one. Yeah, this is like a war film about terrorists. Probably a heavy one, pretty heavy, but you know, there's always nights where you need a really heavy film. So I'm excited to throw that one on the list. Whew, that's gonna be tough to place on the shelf. I don't know if it's gonna go with the yellows or the reds. Maybe I'll split the difference and put it with the oranges. That's the Battle of Algiers. This is one that someone already mentioned in the chat that they spotted. It's very noticeable because you've got all the colors. You've got the bright orange, the bright yellow, bright green, and the blue on the back. This is Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. I know that they just announced a 4K of this, but this is a brand new Blu-ray, still sealed, so, you know, I'm not going to turn that down. It's still going to look great. I'm sure the Blu-ray looks great on this. John popping in. He says Battle of Algiers is a blind spot for him. Welcome. Thanks for popping in, dude. Can't wait to do another Criterion haul with you soon. We got to get that set up so we can go hit that other store soon. But yeah. Brent says Battle of Algiers is a masterpiece. Such a great one for a collection. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. This next one is Breathless. I'll try to slow down a little bit because I know there's a little bit of a lag. But obviously, I've heard a bunch about Breathless. This is, I think this is part of the French New Wave by Godard. And I mean, I've heard a bunch about this one. I was actually considering picking this one up anyway, because the 4K got announced a couple months ago when I did my 4K Criterion announcement video. But now I don't have to go pick it up. I can just watch it right here. And I won't open it for you because, like I said, it's still sealed, but it is another beautiful Digipack. And I know I've already heard everything about this one. Everybody loves Breathless. That's one of the tentpole films in the collection, and that's why it's getting a 4K so early into the 4K run. These next ones here, I'm actually really excited about because I personally, music is a huge blind spot for me. I did not grow up with popular music. And I didn't grow up with music films, but there are a number of music films in the Criterion collection. So that is a huge blind spot for me that I'm looking forward to getting an education on. This first one here, you can probably already see the ones that are coming up, but this first one here is Bob Dylan, Don't Look Back, which Bob Dylan is captured on screen as he never would be again in this groundbreaking film. And it's so this is a documentary. Legendary documentarian finds Dylan in England during his 1964 tour. So this is apparently a documentary about Bob Dylan during one of his tours, and it has a really nice digipack. It's all in black and white. When is this from? 1967. Is this a black and white film? Because that's pretty late, but all the imagery is in black and white. Really like that inside of that digipack. Very nice. Like I said, this is a complete blind spot for me. But I really like the design of this. And not just music documentaries, but just documentaries in general is a huge blind spot for me. So I do like that the collection includes documentaries because that is something I need to brush up on and I need to learn a lot more about. And SC says, well, you can't go wrong with Bob Dylan or the Beatles. Yeah, that's another thing I did know about John. He's a huge music fan, so you will see several music films in here. That was another niche that he was in. He was big into music films. He was big into classic comedies like Chaplin, and you'll see the Marx Brothers collection later. And then he was also big into noir. So we'll see a lot of noir films tonight, which is another area that I am definitely no expert. So that's Bob Dylan. Don't Look Back. And then, as mentioned by SC, we have, this is the 4K of A Hard Day's Night, which is awesome because, like I said, this is not something I would have gravitated towards, but because I have it now, this is something I'll watch. And this is something that has been called out to me, who's someone who's like looking for kids or films that you can show kids, family films, maybe not kids films, but films that are appropriate for kids at a decent age. People always recommend this film as a pretty fun family film. So Beatles' Hard Day's Night, that is obviously a phenomenon that I missed, and that was way before my time, and my parents didn't listen to it, so I didn't grow up with the Beatles, so I'm hoping that can turn me into a Beatles fan. Real quick, Kevin House is shouting out John's book. I'm happy to have your TCM book about summer movies on my bookshelf. So John is, if you didn't see the video, check out my first Criterion Haul of the month. I did it with this new friend that I made, John, and he's actually a published TCM author. He wrote a book called Summer Movies that has 30 different summer movies, and he talks about and gives you some information about each one. And hopefully, I'm talking to him. Hopefully, we can get John on the channel and we can do like a top 10 summer movies list, because it's been a long time since I've done a top 10, and so we can both talk about some summer films that we each like. Hopefully, we can get that scheduled. He seemed down when I asked him about it last time we met. Real quick, before I hear you guys' thoughts on the Beatles, I'm going to pop this question up. Great question, Tyler. Do you prefer digipacks or plastic cases? I prefer the plastic. You are not alone. I know a lot of people prefer the plastic, mostly for the durability and also for the synchronicity. That's not the word I'm looking for. For everything, looking the same on the shelf. They like everything to match. I actually prefer the digipacks. I just love the look of them. I love just the experience of opening a digipack and all the artwork. Movies are kind of decor for me, as you can see, and they are also just a form of artwork for me. So I kind of want the best, in my opinion, the best physical version of a film that I can get if I am going to pay for it. And I do prefer the digipacks. I know some people don't prefer them because they are more easily damaged, which is, obviously a big reason, especially in today's world where no physical media stores exist anymore and you have to buy everything online. They can be a huge problem to get shipped to you, especially if companies don't, take the proper care to ship things, like Amazon, which is horrible about it, especially people who are overseas. I've heard from some of my subscribers who are overseas that it's impossible to get stuff over there to them without being all smashed. So I totally understand why people love the plastic cases, but I definitely prefer the digipacks. So I hope Criterion keeps making those because I just think they look so cool. Let me see. Kevin House, Jazz on a Summer's Day is a great music festival film on Criterion. Good to know. Good to know. Is that also a summer movie? Because that might hit 2 categories. SC, any chance Summertime is on that list, Kevin? Yeah, we have to ask John. Or go buy John's book. It is at Barnes & Noble stores everywhere. I think it's on Amazon too. I almost bought it on Amazon, but John said he had a copy that he could give me. So I can't say no to that. What are the gray Blu-rays with rainbow lettering in the back? Oh, great question. These are you talking about these? If you're talking about these, those are not Blu-rays. Unfortunately, they are just DVDs, but they are the Walt Disney Treasures DVDs that came out in the early 2000s that chronicle all of the golden age of animation for Disney. I want to do a video about that soon. Somebody on TikTok just asked me to do a video about those, and I've been so busy with Criterion stuff this month that I haven't got to make it, but I do want to do a video going through those because I love those. I've been watching with my kids, and they're amazing, and everything, they're so comprehensive. They have everything on there, and tons of stuff that you'll never find on Disney Plus because, you know, it's not appropriate these days. So you'll never see those on Disney Plus. That may be the only way you'll ever see them. They're very expensive these days, though. Some of them you can get for like, you know, 30, 40 bucks, but some of them are over 100. There's one Donald Duck one that I'm never going to get because it goes for $400 on eBay, and I can't pay that much. But yeah, really happy about the Disney Treasures. Look those up. Those are really cool sets. Let me see. Brent also prefers Digipacks, except the worst Digipack of all time, Criterion's Citizen Kane. Yeah, that's a very controversial one, so I totally understand that. Let me see. Felix is here. Yeah, so yeah, he's very interested in those Walt Disney Treasures. Yeah, I'll try to get that video out as soon as I can. So many videos I want to do, but hopefully I can get to that because that's something I'm really interested in, especially now that I'm watching them with my kids and they love them. All right, another music film. This is the big complete Monterey Pop Festival, a gorgeous digipack, not a digipack, excuse me, a gorgeous box set with 2 cases inside, which just have gorgeous artwork all the way through. Love the orange and green tones on these. Love the kind of paper-esque texture that is put on there. That's something I would do in a thumbnail. I love that kind of style, and love the bright colors on the inside as well. You've got a booklet in each of these. Again, something I know nothing about, but am happy to learn about because I think this is like supposed to be one of the greatest concerts of. Wow, this has got a huge booklet in here. This one does. This is supposed to be like one of the biggest, most important concerts of all time, and I mean, maybe one day when I just want to kick back and relax and not, you know, watch an entire film or pay attention to a narrative or a documentary, I can just pop this on. And we'll throw that in the theater downstairs. That would be really awesome to watch in the theater downstairs. Let me see. Kevin House, the Disney Treasure series was a godsend. Wish the release could have continued. Yes, I mean they made a bunch, but yeah, they could have, you know, kept that going. And I wish they weren't so limited. They were such limited runs that they're really hard to track down, especially a couple that I mentioned earlier. Not proud of some of the prices I had to pay to get some of those back there. So at least I can get a video out of it. John says that Summertime is 100% in there. Love that movie. I even did my own location tour in Venice a few years back. So he's talking in the chat. I don't need to read his read his comments to everybody, but yeah, feel free to talk amongst yourselves, obviously. But yeah, that is the complete Monterey Pop Festival, one that I never really was necessarily interested in picking up, but I'm glad that you know, I have it now, and there's no barrier to entry. I can just throw it on because it will be back there on the shelf. Moving on the Criterion Digipacks. This one is a big one that I still haven't seen. The Bergman. Persona Digipack, still sealed. This is a deluxe Digipack. This is very thick for just one film. I really wish I knew what the inside of this looked like because it's pretty gorgeous. But it is still sealed, so I won't waste time doing a full unboxing video right now. But that's cool. I mean, I do have the Bergman complete box set that my wife got me for Christmas. Incredible gift. Thank you so much again, Grace. But this is just beautiful by itself. So I don't know what I will do with that. I mean, I would love to keep it, but who knows? Maybe I could do a giveaway at some point, or, you know, give it to a friend, or I don't know. We'll figure out what we're going to do with Persona. I know that's a great film that everyone recommends. I think that's like the biggest one that gets recommended to me besides Seventh Seal from Bergman is Persona. That's the one I hear the most about. So there we go. Got Persona on Digipack. It is a dual format edition. Oh, that's why. It's a dual format edition, so it's Blu-ray and DVD. That's why it's in the big, bulky, thicker packaging. But hey, I'll take it. Looking forward to checking that one out. And then next we got a really, really nice one here that I've never seen before in stores. I don't think I've ever seen this one. This is, the packaging is already open, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it all the way off. John says Persona is top 10 material for me. That is very high praise because I know John has seen a bazillion movies. So wow, I'm gonna have to get to that one. Put that one on the short list. Get to that one sooner rather than later. Michael Smith. Welcome, Michael. Good to hear from you. Persona has a very bizarre insert given the movie and the time. Now you've got me intrigued. Color me intrigued. I can't wait to open that up and see. What do you mean by bizarre? Is it like, does it not match the film or the rest of the packaging? Or is it like a spoiler? Should I not open it? Should I watch it in the other set first and then open it? Let me know. Give me more details because you've got me intrigued. SC, of course, don't forget Cries and Whispers. Yeah, I mean, he's got a million films. There's like 30 of them just in that one box set. So, you know, of course, I'm going to leave some off unless I list them all. But yeah, Persona apparently is top tier for Bergman. I know everyone's going to have a different list, but that one seems to be in the consensus. This next one is a beautiful green digipack that, like I said, I've never seen in stores before. It's called Sancho the Bailiff? The Bailiff? Sancho the Bailiff by Kenji Mizoguchi. Wow. This looks awesome. I'm assuming it's a samurai film. Early samurai, which is great. I love 50s films. That's another area that John was really interested in, was Japanese cinema, which is, like I said, another blind spot for me. Criterion puts out so many different kinds of films that, you know, I've only been in for 2 years, so there's a lot of blind spots still. But this is another genre that I'm excited to get into because I have not dabbled in this genre basically at all. I have Seven Samurai back there. I bought the Ran from Lionsgate Steelbook, but yeah, this is another samurai film. I'll open it up real quick in case you haven't seen this. Without Mercy, Man is Like a Beast. I don't even know if you can read that. They have very small text on the back. Got some beautiful imagery on the front there. And a simple digipack underneath with just the chapters and the disc. But the booklet is very, very thick. It's one of those 100-page booklets with tons of information on the film. Don't want to see any spoilers, but that looks beautiful too. That looks like cinematography that I would just eat up with a spoon. I did watch Ugetsu. Is it Ugetsu or Ugetsu? I watched that last year sometime and really, really enjoyed that. So hopefully, enjoyed it is probably the wrong term because it's very sad and very tragic. But I love that kind of fairy tale storytelling, ghost story kind of storytelling. So this is Sancho. Michael Smith says you are going to be able to sample so many movies that you probably would not have bought. Exactly. I feel very lucky. Very blessed to have, you know, this opportunity, as sad of a circumstance as it is. But I'm going to try to do my best to, you know, commit to watching all of these. There's some of these that, you know, my family and my wife probably won't be that interested in. So it's going to be some, you know, some solo nights. That's the one downside to this channel is I love doing it and I love talking to you guys. So a lot more of my nights are spent recording and editing and responding to comments. So less movie night. That means less movie nights for me, where I was, you know, used to, you know, could fit in like a movie every night, you know, after the kids go to sleep at 8, have 2 hours to kind of watch a film. But a lot of those nights are editing or recording videos. So less movie nights, but it means they're more special. And it means I get a lot more movie nights with my wife, because when I do get a night off from the channel, I want to spend it with my wife. So we've been watching a lot of things together and she's great. She watches, you know, so many cool things with me that a lot of wives don't. She's the best. I actually got a comment today on my Criterion second haul video where someone was like, "Oh, I'm so jealous that your wife is into the same things, because I think I think the death of me is going to be buying Criterions." So I'm very, very grateful, Grace. If you're watching, thank you so much for being not only understanding but just encouraging, very encouraging with this hobby of mine. and the channel in general, and taking care of the kids so I can make videos, and always pushing me to make more videos even when I don't feel like it. So you guys can thank Grace for the reason this channel is still going strong. She's one of the main reasons. Brent. Mizoguchi is easily top 5 Japanese directors of all time. Favorite of his is Ugetsu. Oh, so it is Ugetsu. Sweet. I thought the styling of the Digipack looked familiar. So I do have a Ugetsu back there on the shelf, and it's a gorgeous film. Very, very great. So I'm glad to know this is the same director. This is going to have to be one that I check out soon then, because I really liked his stuff. Was not aware that was the same director. Thanks for that, Brent. Stephen Murphy Paul definitely had a variety of interest, it seems. I'm sure it would have been great to have him here and explain why he loves cinema so much and why he gravitated towards these genres. I know, man. That's my biggest regret. I really wish I had got a chance to get him on the channel so you guys could have met him, because he was a really cool guy, and we talked about it. Like, I asked him, he was down to go for another Criterion haul with me. We just couldn't get the schedule worked out. There's a lot of traveling going on in November. You know, we were going different places. I was traveling home for Thanksgiving and stuff. Not home, but to my wife's parents' home, and we had a lot. So yeah, we just couldn't get it to work out, but I wish we could have, because he was a really fun guy to talk to. Kevin House is looking forward to seeing the Noir films, because he's also a big Noir fan. So great. And also Video Stash is another big Noir fan. They're talking in the chat. Next one is another samurai film. This is from Kurosawa. It's Yojimbo and Sanjuro, which is a collection that I've been eyeing for a while, because it's a nice, gorgeous box set. And it's 2 films in one. And they rhyme. So yeah, don't know a lot about these. I just know that they're a samurai film, and I know they're regarded as some of the best. They are from the 1960s, 61 and 62, respectively. They're samurai films. But yeah, that is Yojimbo and Sanjuro. I'm sure everyone's going to tell me. This video is just going to be everyone telling me to watch. Every time I show a film, they're going to be like, watch that one first, because it's Criterion. They're all great films. So speaking of, Hunter says Sancho is really good. I know, man, and I'm excited because I really like that director. But really excited to have this double feature set. That's really cool when Criterion does stuff like that. I love when they do stuff that's outside the box, and it's not just the standard. I know we were just talking about how a lot of people like the standard cases, but if you can do a nice little box set that they slide into, that's just icing on the cake for already great films. So happy about that. Really great to have that one in the collection. People talking about noir films in the chat. Kevin House says The Third Man is easily his favorite noir. I've seen that one. I own that one back there on the shelf. I already showed it on the channel. Great film. I don't know, because I haven't seen a lot of noir. That might have been my first true noir, because I watched that, and then I watched The Killing that Connor made me watch. Didn't make me watch, showed me, because it's one of his favorite films, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me see. I just saw another comment. This is from the Undeclared Nation. Did you get the Pasolini box set? Not yet. It may still happen this month. I may talk myself out of it because it is expensive. It is a pricey one. Even with the 50% off, it's $125. And that's like 6 films that I could get if I don't get the box set. Or I could just get the box set, and it is more than 6 films. So, I'm weighing that out right now. I don't know if I want to get more releases, more different releases, or just get, I might as well. I have Salo. I have the Trilogy of Life. I could just complete my Pasolini collection right there with the box set. So, I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Would you rather see me get 5 individual films or pick up that box set? I know everyone's going to say the box set because, I could do an unboxing video and show everyone what it looks like, because it looks beautiful from the outside. From all the publicity photos I've seen, it looks amazing. So I'm really debating with myself. I probably should have got it first day, so I could have done the unboxing video when it first came out, because people are going to lose interest. But I'm not the smartest at this YouTube thing. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. Kevin House, I was really impressed with Sanjuro. I think you'll really like it. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. We've got another box set of films here. I forgot I picked this one up. I'm very interested in this one. These are 3 silent classics by Josef von Sternberg. And it is Underworld, The Last Command, and The Docks of New York. This is a beautiful black and white box set. So 3 films in here. And then it also includes a big booklet there. That's not a 4th film. That is just a booklet. I love these Digipack box sets. I have the Jacques Demy one. I have the Jacques Tati one, where they include the films in their own individual Digipacks with the slipcase on top. Very, very cool. I think I talked to Connor about this one last November when he was here. Not November. Last July, last year, when he was here for the sale. I think we talked a little bit about this one. I don't think he picked it up. I think he ended up going with the with that other box set that's 5 films from... Oh, there's so many directors' names in my head right now. I'm never going to think of that. John Cassavetes. He got the John Cassavetes box set. But I love silent films. I have a goal this year to watch, I think, at least 12 new silent films, at least 1 per month. I've kind of slipped off of that a little bit. I kept it going for the first 4 months really well. I need to get back on that. Maybe I'll pop one of these in. Let me know what you think of these silent films. These look more to be, because I've obviously a lot of silent films I've seen have been comedies. I have seen some dramas as well, obviously. Sunrise and Scarlet Letter from which I love, from 24, or is it 28? 26. And then obviously Passion of Joan of Arc. Way up there, top 5 silent film for me. So it'll be good to get some more serious drama silent films under my belt. And 90 Weeks says, hi, Underworld is brilliant. So that's all I need to know. I'll probably check that one out first. And that is the first one anyway. Underworld is spine number 529, and then the other 2 come right after it. Underworld's from 1927, so that's the earliest, and then the other 2 came out. Short, breezy, 81 minutes, 88 minutes, and 75 minutes. So those will be fun. Yeah, I can't wait to check those out. Video Stash says, interesting, I need to see more silence. I've pretty much only looked into silent comedy. Yeah, I think that's a good place to start, though, silent comedy, and then to branch out from there. Highly recommend Passion of Joan of Arc. Highly recommend that Scarlet Letter from Victor Jordstrom. Never know how to say his last name. Also the director of one of my favorite silent films, maybe my favorite silent film, which is The Phantom Carriage, which is an awesome, anti-It's a Wonderful Life about the Grim Reaper, and it's at New Year's. I don't want to give too much away, but such a beautiful, beautiful film. With an incredible score that was added later, but it fits the film perfect. One of my favorite scores. Kevin House, the Von Sternberg set is awesome. Good to hear. Good to get your ringing endorsement, Kevin, because I know you are a huge movie fan and you've seen a ton. So let me see. Brent. I have the Dietrich and Von Sternberg Hollywood box set, which is great, but I'll have to check these silent films out. I know, man. So much stuff to check out. So little time. So I'll do as much as I can. I'll do my best, but that interests me, so I will definitely push that towards the top of the list. Let me see here. Another music film for this next one. Another Bob Dylan story, actually. This is a Bob Dylan story by Martin Scorsese. Rolling Thunder Review. I know nothing about this film. It seems to be a pretty nice looking digipack. I don't even know if I've seen this one in stores. Maybe I have. It's got a lot of Americana going on here. It's got kind of a Nashville vibe. It's 1975 in America defined by both the mythologizing pomp of the upcoming bicentennial and ongoing socio-political turmoil. Bob Dylan and a band of troubadours, including luminaries such as Joan Baez, Allen Ginsberg, and Joni Mitchell, embarked on a now legendary tour known as the Rolling Thunder Review. So it's another tour from Bob Dylan, story by Martin Scorsese. That is interesting. That dude has a very varied collection of films under his belt, which I have not seen enough of. So another musical documentary about another tour from Bob Dylan. Very specific. So I've got 2 of those. Didn't think I'd be getting through 2 of those already. Tom Ja, are you going to be doing a Criterion haul with Connor anytime soon? Yes, mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. Ooh, wow. Speak of the devil, and there he is. He just appeared. Connor Nielsen. Hey, DJ. Welcome, Connor. Someone just asked about you, so perfect timing. They asked if you were going to be doing a Criterion haul with me, and I assume we will. It won't be a Criterion sale month if I don't talk to Connor about his pickups. So obviously we won't be in person because we're on opposite sides of the country, but we'll definitely hop on a video call, and he can take the floor and talk about all the pickups that he has made. Got to get that video out before the month is out, Connor. But I know he likes to go all the way up to the wire to July, 31st if he has to before he stops buying Criterions. So maybe that'll be like right after the month ends. But yeah, I definitely want to hear his picks and see what he got. He says, I hope so. Okay, good, man. Hope we can fit it in. I know you're busy. Just hit me up and we'll get that on the schedule. This next one is Les Blanc, Always for Pleasure, which has another beautiful looking digipack with some great cinematography just there on the front. Love when they do collages like that. Another film that I know nothing about. It says, that's interesting. 1968 to 1995 is the year. So is this like a documentary? Whoa! Is this like a 30-year documentary? Interesting. You guys are gonna have to let me know about this one. But yeah, 536 minutes. So is this like a series, like a mini-series documentary? Ooh, beautiful inside. Uh-oh. It is missing a disc. Let me know if you have this set, what that disc is that's missing. Wonder if that's just a DVD, or it might actually be part of the documentary because it is, 536 minutes. It probably does span a few discs. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully it's the third disc. It looks to be split up into episodes based on the first two discs here. Ah, thank you, Hunter. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, need you guys to explain what these are to me. It's a collection of documentaries. That makes more sense. So this is a collection of all of his documentaries from 1968 to 1995. That's actually better because if I am missing a disc, then it won't be incomplete. I will still have, full documentaries and just be missing those documentaries on that disc. Maybe that was a supplements disc. I actually don't know. But yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't know there was a box set of a collection of documentaries on here. But yeah, showing my ignorance, and I'm going to be, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff in this collection that I have not done my research on because I wasn't expecting it. SC, I've had the Les Blanc set sitting around for a while, anxious to get to that already. I know, that's the same way I am with Martin Scorsese's World Cinema box set that I picked up, like 5 films on there, I think. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to get around to that because they're in a box set. I feel like I want to go through them all at the same time, but I guess I don't have to. I can just watch one and move on to something else. But I do want to get to that. Stephen Murphy says, say his name 3 times and like Beetlejuice, Connor appears. I wish I could just zap it and Connor would pop right here and we could make more videos together. But it's a lot more involved than that. He has to fly, or I have to fly 4 hours across the country to see him. Yeah, everyone's given Connor some great words. Michael Smith, I love that Grace and Connor have the same bubbly energy on the sale hauls. That is true. That is true. I think Connor and Grace are the only ones who have danced on camera in those sale haul videos. So yeah, they do bring the same vibe. Maybe that's why we get along so well, Connor. You remind me of my wife. Kevin House says, always great to see you, Connor. I look forward to hearing about your new acquisitions. Connor's probably at work. I know he listens to these at work, so he probably won't be able to chime in too much, but I'm glad he popped in for a minute there. Next digipack in the stack here is Sweet Smell of Success from 1957, 96 minutes, black and white film. This is directed by Alexander McKendrick? Alexander McKendrick, who is a filmmaker I'm not familiar with at all, but I love the artwork on the front of the set. Is this a noir film? Have we reached our first noir film? let me know, guys, if you are familiar with Smeat. I just watched Waterworld, so that was an unintentional pun. But Sweet Smell of Success. This might be a noir film. And I'm gonna open the. Oh, look at that! It's got to be a noir film. Look at that artwork. It's got a very nice wraparound. She's standing on a balcony, longingly looking over the side. It's got to be a noir film. 1957. Black and white. Love the inside of this. This looks awesome. Love the booklet. Man, throw a booklet and put it into Digipack, and DJ is sold. I can't get over a good Digipack. Connor Nielsen, that is such a sweet looking Digipack. I've been tempted to buy it for years. I love the re. I don't know what he means by the re, but yeah, there we go. Sweet Smell of Success. Beautiful looking film. 90 Weeks. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. McKendrick did some great stuff in the UK too. Ealing, Alec Guinness, etc. Okay, sweet. I just can't stop looking at that one. I'm gonna have to put it down because it looks awesome. And then one more Digipack. Michelangelo and Antonioni's Blow Up. Another beautiful Digipack. God, look at that. That is a very uncomfortable image there on the front. But love the red. Love the bright red and white Digipack. Real quick, I'm going to go back to Kevin because we have a little bit of a... Okay, Connor corrected himself. He didn't mean to say love the re. He meant to say love the red. So he was talking about this beautiful Digipack. Thank you, Connor, for correcting yourself. Kevin's talking about people always debate what films should be considered noir, but Sweet Smell of Success is definitely noir-like. Either way, it's a great film. And John agrees with Kevin. Okay. Interesting. We're moving on to Blow Up, which it looks like he found at a CD warehouse. The CD warehouse in the area where I live that I visit a lot, and I'm sure John went there, or I'm sure Paul went there quite a bit. Because it was a really cool store and they had cool stuff. I've never found this nice of a Criterion set there. He found this at a CD warehouse for $15.99. This is a gorgeous Digipack. It says nothing but Blow Up on the front and back. Got the bright black and white and red, and then you've got the monochrome book with the typographical imagery right there. This is a color film, okay. This is from 1966. I love 60s films. I'm excited. What let me know what is this from? Is this a French film? I'm kind of getting a French film vibes. Oh, maybe it's Italian. Which I also love. Anyway, I'm hearing lots of people chiming in the chat. Blow Up is such a good movie from Gus. Thank you, Gus. Thanks again for that super chat earlier. Really appreciate that. You are the best. Brent, Blow Up is great. I miss films with this type of slow pacing. Beautiful film. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to that. Let me know. Something good to do would probably be like to give me similar films to these films as I'm going through. What does Blow Up remind you of? Maybe something that's also in the collection, or maybe another film that's not in the collection. What is it similar to? Because I'm not getting much from this because it's such a simple Digipack in the design. I'm not getting much from it. I could read the back, but that's boring. You guys don't want to tune in just for me to read to you. This is not an ASMR channel, and I don't have an ASMR voice. Connor, I need to grab Blow Up. That Digipack is gorgeous, and I own Blow Out, which is apparently a remake. Oh, interesting. I've seen Blow Out. Blow Out just got a 4K release, right? I remember seeing that at Best Buy, because Best Buy carries Criterions now. Antonini is Italian, but it's in English. Okay, sweet. Best of both worlds. Gus, I feel like Blow Up is better than Blow Out. Interesting. Is that the consensus, or is that a hot take? I don't know. I assume it's probably the consensus, but if the remake was good enough to also be in the Criterion collection, then who knows? Maybe they're both great. John concurs. English film, Italian director. A lot of people chiming in. 90 Weeks says British, but Italian director. Let me see. The conversation and Blow Out were inspired by Blow Up. Interesting. I've heard a lot about the conversation. So similar to that, I guess. Let me see. Blowout is 100% better. Oh, so teams forming. Good, good. Let's see if we can get some beef in the chat. All right, we've made it through that Digipack stack with the exception of these two here that I'll show real quick. These ones I have off to the side because I already own these. This is another, according to Jack, again, he says Blowout is a top 3 for him. Wow, high praise. 90 Weeks says Blow Up is an enigma wrapped in a mystery. Okay, we're getting some back and forth here. The Orion Knight, which is an awesome name, says I prefer Blowout for Travolta. Okay, so Blowout's much later. And Brent says it's not as good as the other Antonini films, but top 5 of his for sure. Awesome. I need to be more aware of his filmography because I've not heard much about him. But I like Italian films. Even though it's not an Italian film, Italian director. All right, let us go on to Red River. This gorgeous out-of-print digipack of Red River that I unfortunately just bought on eBay. Like, I think I got it like a week maybe before this happened. So, unfortunate, but it's fine. I mean, it's a gorgeous out-of-print digipack. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and it also includes full novel in here. This is a John Wayne film. It's starring John Wayne, but it's a Howard Hawks film, which like I said, I just bought this digipack. It's not too bad because I found it online for like $40, like, you know, original sticker price. I didn't pay like a crazy amount for it because it's out of print, but I really do like this. I saw this at the store that I went to with Grace a couple days ago, and it was just the standard, you know, jewel case version, which, I mean, I'm going to take this massive, awesome digipack version over that any day. But I'll pop this open real quick. I just did a video. Actually, have I posted that video yet? I don't think I posted that video yet. So this might be spoilers. I just recorded a video, but then, you know, the sale happened and I haven't been able to get back and edit it. But I recorded a video showing this off and a couple other out-of-print digipacks that I just added to the collection. But I guess this will be the first time I actually show it on camera until I get that video up. But yeah, it's 3 discs, and it's got another booklet inside, and then you've got the full novel, kind of like the Picnic at Hanging Rock digipack. That's also like one of my that's up there with maybe in my top 10 Criterion releases, and this one might be too now, especially if I love the movie. Been in a Western mood lately, and excited to check that one out. Maybe I don't know what I'll do with this. Maybe I'll do a giveaway for this at some point. I am rapidly approaching 2,000 followers on TikTok. I'm like 40 away. So maybe when I hit 2,000, I'll do a giveaway with something, or I don't know, maybe not a Criterion, maybe a regular film. I don't know. Haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but I do have another copy of Red River. See what people are saying in the chat. Wow. I'm way behind in the chat. Connor really wants me to, has he inherited Andrei Rublev? I don't think so. I think we've made it through the digipacks and Andrei Rublev was not in there. Sorry, Connor. But you are not the only person to recommend that to me. John also recommended that to me when we were in the store together. So that one is probably the next Tarkovsky film that I will check out. I mean, 2 of you guys recommended it. I gotta check it out. You guys are guests on the channel. Let me get to some questions here. People are talking back and forth. Video Stash, love Red River, top tier Western. That's good to know. Good to hear that they gave this wonderful deluxe treatment to a great film. Okay, I think that might be coming up in a minute, so I'm not gonna read that one. Rio Bravo, Hawk's other great Western, is getting a 4K. Wow, that's really cool. Connor also talking about Antonionis. Am I finally saying that right? Antonionis. Talking about his filmography. And let me make sure I haven't missed any more questions. Yeah, people are still talking back and forth. Glad you guys are chatting back and forth. Glad I can start some conversations. People are still talking about that director. All right, I'm gonna move on to the other digipack / box set that I already have, but that came with this collection. It is the complete Jacques Tati box set, which is still sealed. Which I don't know if he had seen any of these. Maybe he watched them some other way. But I just made it through this entire box set. I think a couple months ago I finally finished up. That was one of my goals this year, was to make it through the whole box set. I watched everything. I actually watched Jour de Fête. I watched Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, Mon Oncle, Playtime, Traffic, Parade, and I watched all the shorts, which include some of his acting shorts and also the later shorts that he directed and acted in, including one as himself. The one he made while he was making Playtime is great and has a lot of references to all of his other films. So definitely watch that one after you've watched all the other films. Highly recommend the set. It's amazing. I was not a big fan of Traffic. I know, I'm sorry. That was my least favorite. I kind of wish he had cut off the Monsieur Hulot character after the trilogy. I think that's a perfect trilogy in my mind and one of the best trilogies we've ever had. And I kind of wish he left it at Playtime and didn't do Traffic. Maybe you guys can convince me otherwise, though. Any big Traffic defenders in here? I know everyone loves it, so it's not like the consensus that it's bad. It just didn't work for me. Maybe I'll like it better on a second viewing. But I freaking loved Parade. I think I loved Parade more than anyone else. Judging by the Letterboxd reviews, I gave it like a much higher score than everybody else. But it's basically just a circus film, and I love the circus, so of course I'm gonna love it. Let me see. Thank you. Yes, Connor, I finally got the correct pronunciation out there. Thank you so much. There's a lot of vowels in that word, in his name. Let me see. People talking back and forth. John Henry popping in. Thank you, John. John is always leaving a comment on every single video. Really appreciate all your comments, John. Appreciate the support. He says, good tribute to your friend, Paul. I hope so, man. I feel a little uncomfortable about this whole thing. I don't want to, do something wrong or say the wrong thing. Trying to be respectful. So thank you. That means a lot to me, John. Let me see. SC, yeah, Traffic. The Soderbergh remake was better. LOL. Okay, maybe it's not such a hot take. Maybe there's other people that were underwhelmed with Traffic, but it didn't work for me personally. But that was, having watched all of them in the span of like a month or two. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have put some time in between it and I would have liked it more. But yeah, I love the rest of these. This is still sealed now. I mean, this would be a crazy giveaway if I did this as a giveaway. Maybe as a gift to someone. I don't know. We'll figure out what I'm going to do with this. Actually, I probably will keep this one because this is kind of a bummer. My Tati set, brand new, but the Playtime, I got it brand new, but the Playtime disc skipped or froze for just like a minute, like not even a minute. It wasn't a big deal. I just missed a few seconds of the film, but that was a bummer because I paid a lot of money for that set. I don't want it to be damaged. I think maybe if I contact Criterion, they will send me a new disc. I've heard that you can just do that, which I should maybe try because they were great. If you didn't see my video about the packaging, when I, in the last flash sale, I got some damaged packaging and I just contacted them and they shipped me the new packaging like instantly. Like as soon as they got my email, they sent it right back and I got the packaging within a week. So they were really great about that. Maybe they'll send me another Playtime disc and then I won't have to worry about that. But that is the complete Jacques Tati. What do you guys think about Jacques Tati? Maybe I should save that for another video. Ethan Edwards, the first three Hulot films and Jour de Fête are all great. 100% agree with you. Those were my favorite. I actually liked his first film way up there for me. And actually, this is definitely a hot take. Monsieur Hulot's Holiday is my favorite of the trilogy of the Hulot films. But that might be because it's the only one I've seen twice. Me and Connor did a whole discussion video about that film, so I watched it twice for that. And I really fell in love with it the second time. I think his films benefit from multiple viewings. I was like interested in it the first time, but watching it with my son on a second viewing, I really fell in love with it. And I liked it better than the others. But I think on second viewing of Mon Oncle and Playtime, I'll love those a lot more too. So I'm looking forward to rewatching those. Like I said, I think that's a perfect trilogy. So yeah, that's an incredible set. Happy to have that again. Someone just asked. Oh yeah, John says Playtime is brilliant. Agreed. They're talking about it in the chat. Brent, Playtime cracks my top 20 films of all time. I think Amazing movie. Yeah, it's great. It's long though. I gotta find time to watch that one again. SC, always email Criterion. They have exceptional customer service. Good to get that seconded, because I that's the experience I had. But you know, you want to hear as many experience stories as possible from people, because you never know. But it does from my experience, they were incredible, and they responded very quickly. Connor, did DJ inherit the Persona Digipack? So Connor came in a little bit late. I'll quickly grab that for Connor, but it is right here. It was sealed, so I couldn't open it up for you, but yes, I did get Persona. I know you'll be very excited about that. Connor just watched through all of Bergman's films last year in a month, because he's a crazy person. So he was very excited. Very excited to find out that I had Persona. So that is in the collection. I'm going to move this stack over to the floor so that I don't knock all these off onto the floor, because that would be terrible. And we'll move on to another stack. Kevin House, yes, that's certainly the consensus playtime. That's why I need to watch it again. Okay, good to hear, because I really love certain scenes, but yeah, it was a lot to keep up with, and I think that's like his masterpiece. He's got so much stuff going on in that movie that I think it definitely not only warrants a second viewing, but like necessitates a second viewing. Excuse me, drinking. I'm gonna lose my voice tonight. I can already tell. We've still got 4 more stacks of movies to go through. I've got to pick up the pace. This is Marlon Brando on the Waterfront, an Elia Kazan film. Connor geeking out about the Persona Digipack. Yeah, this is a Marlon Brando film. Another Kazan film. 1954. I love this Digipack. This is a really cool Digipack. I think, Connor, you picked this one up recently in one of the sales we did together, but looks great. Wow. I have not seen enough Brando at all, so this is really cool to have this in the collection. Because apparently Marlon Brando gives the performance of his career as the tough prize fighter turned longshoreman Terry. Oh yeah. So apparently it's a masterpiece of urban poetry, according to the back, and it's one of Marlon Brando's best performances. So I definitely need to check that one out. And it has a gorgeous Digipack, which always gets me excited. I love the blue. I love the monochromatic colors. Love 50s films. So, you know, there we go. Gus says DJ has inherited really good films. I know, man. I so lucky. I can't say that enough. Surreal Hand, which is the first comment I've read from you tonight. Welcome. So glad you're here. That's a nice release, and I'm a big fan of Kazan. Is it Kazan? Kazan. I picked up A Face in the Crowd this sale. Face in the Crowd is the only film from him that I have seen and that I already have, and I freaking love that film. That's like a masterpiece for me. 5 out of 5. Can't wait to watch that film again, and the fact that this is the same director gets me excited, actually. And around the same time, I think. I don't remember exactly what year Face in the Crowd is, but really, really enjoyed that film. And a friend of mine is after he saw it, it's like his favorite film of all time. And I bought him the Criterion last year. Yeah, early last year in the July sale. So so happy that that he loved that film. I'm glad I could share that with him. Let me see. Gus also really likes On the Waterfront. Best Brando performance, in my opinion, says The Orion Knight. That's great to hear. I might as well go to the best first. I mean, I've seen a couple things Brando's in, but none of his like younger stuff. So that's really exciting. On the Waterfront. Put this one over here. Kevin Ford, I'll answer this question real quick. Kevin Ford says, any recommendations for keeping track of a collection, apps, and websites? I personally use the My Movies app. I know a lot of people use CLV Collectors. I think that's what it's called. I can't get into the UI of that app. I think it looks really ugly, which is important to me because I'm a UX designer. I literally design apps for a living. So if that's not about, if that doesn't bother you, go with that one. I think that's like the most comprehensive, considered the most comprehensive. My Movies is a terrible name, but it's a gorgeous looking app and I really like it. And it's had pretty much everything that I own. There's only been like a couple things that weren't in that database, but if you take a picture of it and send it to them, they usually respond pretty quickly and they try to add it to the database for you if you have enough information to give them about it. But yeah, I use the My Movies app. I think it's on version 4 now, and I really like it. I have my whole catalog in there. I haven't logged any of these yet. Thanks for asking that question, because this is going to take a while to get all of these logged in there. But I really like that. I'm pretty good at remembering where things are, but I do log the location by color in that database. So if, for whatever reason, a newer film that I haven't really been familiar with and I can't remember where it is in the color wheel, I will just go to the app, search for it, go down to the location, and boom, know exactly where it is. So I waited too long to get my films sorted in a database, but I'm so glad I did, because it's been a big help, especially in making sure once you get past your first 1,000 films, it's really helpful to make sure that you don't double dip and accidentally not double dip. That means something different, but like buy the same film twice, which I've never done except for this one release, which is just a Pixar collection of short films, their Pixar collection, Volume 3. I had 1 and 3. I saw 3 at Half Price Books. I thought I had 1 and 2, and I bought 3. And I won't do that again, because I load everything into my database, and I can check if I'm ever uncertain if I own something. So if anyone wants this Pixar Short Films Volume 3, I got to find something to do with that. It's still sealed, which is a bummer, and it only cost, I think it was like $8, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but wish I didn't do that. I ended up having 2 Volume 3s, because I thought I had Volume 2. I have since bought Volume 2, so now I have all of those. And I've been watching through those recently, actually. Stay tuned to my Letterboxd. I've been ranking all of Pixar's animated films as I go through them. I've been watching them with my kids. We've watched all of Volume 1, most of Volume 2, and we got to get to this one, Volume 3. And I'm ranking them as I go through them. So yeah, really enjoying that. There's some that I didn't see in theaters growing up that I missed the short for, and it's been really cool going back to those. And me and my kids went all the way back. We went to like the 80s shorts before they were even making feature films, obviously before they had any of their Pixar tentpole franchises. Watch what is it, Tin Soldier? I think it's called either Tin Soldier or Toy Soldier. Creepy looking animation. There's like, I don't know why they thought they could do a lifelike baby that early in animation, but it's horrifying. It's like, look up I think it's just took a Pixar Soldier and it'll come up, and it's like really, I like the animated short. It's actually really good. I like the story of it, but it's horrifying. That baby's face is going to give me nightmares. All right. Where are we? People are talking about Bergman. Connor blowing up the chat with his Bergman knowledge, so I'm just going to keep going here. This is one that I've been really interested in. I think this is like a semi-horror film. Yeah, definitely seems like a horror film. I've seen this on the channel quite a lot, and I almost added it to my list the last couple of Octobers because I keep seeing it up there, but now I have it on disc, which is great. This would be great to watch down in the theater, even though it would probably be significantly more creepy in the theater. It is Eyes Without a Face by George. I cannot read that script font that they have his name in. But yeah, Eyes Without a Face is a French film, I think, which I'm immediately down for because I love French films, and I love French horror films. I've only seen Diabolique, but I freaking loved it. Connor and I also did a full discussion video on that film when he was here in town. I think we talked about that one one of the times that he was here, and I absolutely loved it. And I can't wait to check out Eyes Without a Face. Hopefully it's similar to that. The Orion Night Eyes Without a Face came out the same year as Psycho and Peeping Tom. Great year for horror. Awesome. That's very encouraging for me because I love 60s horror. That's my favorite decade for horror. I'm not a big horror film, I'm not a big modern horror film. Like once you get to the 80s, you kind of lose me with horror. So I love 60s horror, and I can't believe I haven't checked that one out yet. That's very exciting to me. Very creepy cover there. Contrasted with the pink color choice. That's great. Grace will not watch that one with me. I can guarantee you just by watching the cover. Although she did watch Diabolique with me, and she really enjoyed it. So is this about on the level of Diabolique? Because maybe if I sell her this film by saying it's similar to Diabolique, she will be able to watch it with me. Let me know. Kevin House, I bought Eyes Without a Face a year or so ago. Some consider it one of the creepiest films ever. Okay, maybe not then. Maybe not a film for me to watch with my wife. I have to watch a lot of films by myself in October because my wife's not even less of a horror film fan than me, so I'll pop that in. Maybe I'll pop that in this October. I gotta add that to the list. Spooktober is coming up in a few months, so I gotta throw that in there. Make sure you remember to do that, DJ, when you're setting up your Spooktober list. John Henry, that Diabolique discussion was Chef's Kiss. Good movie. I'm glad you saw it because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Another new name in the chat here, Hard Copy Blues. I love that name. Are you another content creator here? Probably. I should check out that channel after this. 90 Weeks. You should also get his Judix in Criterion based on the Silent serial. That is very interesting to me. You're saying it's the same director as Eyes Without a Face? Based on the Silent... That's all you got to do to sell me. If it's a horror film from around this period and it's based on a Silent serial, that's a good pitch. It's a good pitch for me. I'll add that one to the watch list. Judix. I'll have to remember that. All right, we're moving on to some Fellini, which I finally dipped my toe in this last month. Last month I watched La Strada, which I absolutely loved. Like anything circus related, clown related, sideshow, carnival related, I'm gonna love. I'm a sucker for that stuff. And La Strada was a beautiful film, incredible performance by that lead actress. But yeah, this is 8.5, another Fellini film. I think this is like the quintessential Fellini film. I think this is like the most recommended. I hear people talk about this all the time. 1963. Pretty early spine number. It's spine number 140. Real quick, Video Stash, have you come across the 1966 horror movie It? I saw some of it on TV. I'm curious to finish it. It's about a golem. No, I have not come across that, but I should add that to my list too, because that sounds really interesting. Maybe add that also to my Spooktober watch list this year. It. Another film called It, but it's about a golem. That sounds fascinating. Let me see. People still talking about horror films. Hard Copy Blues pops in again with another quick chat. I love La Strada as well. Right? Great film. Great film. I have not bought it. I picked it up at the Barnes & Noble when I was with Grace this last couple days ago. I was like, oh, I love this film, but I'm gonna hold off because I know eventually I'm gonna get the Fellini box set, so I can hold off on that one until I save up enough for that, because I don't want to double dip on that. So I'm not gonna buy La Strada, even though I love the cover art on that one. But yeah, this is 8.5. John says 8.5 is pretty perfect. Maybe watch La Dolce Vita first. Okay, good. A plan. Give me a plan. That's what I need. I need my film guide to give me a plan. So yeah, maybe wait a little bit on this one and check out some other Fellini first. Has this one been announced for a 4K yet? I feel like if it hasn't, it will be soon because it's one of the biggest ones. All right. Next we have The Breaking Point, directed by Michael Curtis. I love Michael Curtis. I didn't know he had any films in the collection. This has got to be a noir film, right? Michael Curtis brings a master skipper's hand to the helm of this thriller. Oh, it's a thriller. Hollywood's second crack at Ernest Hemingway's. It's based on an Ernest Hemingway novel. I love Ernest Hemingway. Wow, this is I love the director. I love the author that it's based on. This one's looking pretty good. This might be one that I have to watch. Another 50s film, a short film, 97 minutes, which is always great. For me, when you got 2 kids and a wife and, full-time job and this channel trying to keep up with, short films are great these days. It's a new thing for me. I used to love long films. I used to love just getting engrossed in a really long film, but sometimes you don't got time. And sometimes you got to get a quick hour 30 in and out, or shorter. Jeffrey Patron just popped in. Howdy, DJ and chat. Welcome, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Patron, I actually goes way back. I actually knew him from a different channel before I even started this one. He's like a master mixer, like a bartender. He used to give me tips on that because I was completely over my head. But he's also a lover of film and I follow him on Letterboxd. He's a great follow. Check him out. He watches a ton of old films. He's a big music fan as well, and he's been watching a lot of Elvis films lately. I think he's been watching some Michael Curtis films. So that was perfect timing for you to pop in. This is The Breaking Point. Don't know much about this one, but it is a thriller. It looks like they're on some kind of train or submarine. I cannot tell where they are. A boat. They're on a boat. Thriller on a boat from 1950 by Michael Curtis. What did Michael Curtis direct? The Sea Wolf? Was that Michael Curtis? I remember watching The Sea Wolf. I think also Captain Blood I loved. I think those are by Michael Curtis. Maybe I'm confusing my directors, but I love those films. We need some boutique releases of those films. Let me see. Jeffrey Bertrand says there are 2 Curtis films in Criterion along with Mildred Pierce. Sweet. So this is one. Let me know what the other one is, because I might have to check that one out. John, it was a lot of fun. DJ's easy to talk movies with. I know, right? Not trying to toot my own horn. It was easy talking to you. I don't know why we hit it off right from the start. If you guys watched that video with me and John, this is my fault, but the first thing you see us say on camera is like the first thing we said. I turned the camera on like almost immediately. As soon as like I saw him, we like met, shook hands, and that was the first time meeting. We had met like for like a minute at a movie theater before that when he was presenting for TCM. But we said hi. He said, "Are we doing this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and turn the camera on," because he was so game. So I just turned it on right away, and we immediately started talking. So if there's some awkwardness at the beginning of that video, that's because it was our first interaction, and but it wasn't. It didn't feel awkward at all. We hit it off and talked for a good long time. Really enjoyed that. Can't wait to do another one of those with you. 90 Weeks says Michael Curtis in a previous life. Holly Cortez. Kevin House, Breaking Heart is a very good film. Long live John Garfield. Yes, Casablanca 2 from Ethan Edwards. He says he was Warner's main director. I thought so. Yes. Okay, thank you. I'm glad I'm not crazy. I watched a lot of Michael Curtis films, actually. I think when Connor and I did our video about top 10 films that need a Blu-ray, I think I put together a Michael Curtis box set as one of in the top 10 box sets we need to get a nice Blu-ray box set. I put together a Michael Curtis box set that included a lot of course I'm going to blank on names because I've been talking forever, but Errol Flynn videos, because he's in Captain Blood, which is a wonderful film. I really loved Captain Blood. I think I might have loved Captain Blood better than Robin Hood. Better than Adventures of Robin Hood. I know, that's blasphemy. But Captain Blood is amazing. Seawolf was also great. I really loved Seawolf. Casablanca. Gotcha. Thank you, Ethan. He was Hungarian. It's pronounced Curtiz. Thank you. Always appreciate the pronunciation correction. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to get a lot of this wrong because I haven't had a chance to research any of this because it was all just dumped on me at once. So thank you. Ethan Edwards, Michael Curtiz. Very excited to have that because I love his other films. John says, true story, off like a shot. That's why we were talking so fast. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Thank you for being such a trooper and just getting thrown into the fire immediately right off the bat because I had fun doing it. I'm going to have no voice by the end of this. Another Mizoguchi film. This is The Life of Oharu. The Life of Oharu. Yeah, this is so Mizoguchi also directed which one? Gosh, I've already said so many films. But yeah, here's another Japanese film. This doesn't necessarily look like a samurai film. Is this more of a drama? Supremely emotional, visually exquisite, the circumstances of women in Japanese society. Interesting. 1952 film, 136 minutes. And yeah, the same director we talked about earlier. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Real quick, if you are into swashbucklers, I absolutely am. You'd love the films of Douglas Fairbanks' Silent Star. Yes, I have the Thief of Baghdad from Douglas Fairbanks in my, it's not a Criterion, it's not a Kino, it's a Cohen film release. I have that back there. I wanted to get to it last year when I did my Adventure Through November list, but I couldn't get to it. It's yeah, I need to watch more Douglas Fairbanks. I think he also has a Zorro film, which I really want to see. I love swashbuckling films, and silent swashbuckling films are awesome. Kevin House, The Seahawk is another really good Curtiz Flynn swashbuckler. Yes. The Seahawk. Have I seen The Seahawk? I have seen The Seahawk. Yes. That's the one. Seawolf is a different thing, but yeah, Seahawk is the swashbuckling one. I think I watched that right after Captain Blood. I watched those both on TCM back when I had Hulu, and it included the TCM channel. Yeah, I love The Seahawk too. I think there was one more collaboration that they did together that I didn't see. But yeah, I really want that trilogy to be released, because I freaking love those movies. Connor says John and DJ have very good natural chemistry. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. John is that's mostly on his end because he's a really cool guy, and I was just feeding off of his knowledge and energy. Let's see. Life of a Haru is second only to Ujetsu. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I loved Ujetsu. And then I also have the Sancho movie down there, and now we have Oharo. So a lot of Mizoguchi films. So that's cool. I love when I get kind of a bundle of directors' filmography all at once, because I love doing those like I did with Jacques Tati. Just kind of getting to know a director through his filmography all at once. And 3 is not too bad. I've already seen Ujetsu, so 2 I could definitely do. And I've got to watch more Japanese films. Ethan Edwards says he is one of the top 4 or 5 filmmakers ever. He only made a few samurai films, and that's not one of them. Okay, it didn't look like it. It did not seem like it, and it didn't sound like it. So that's cool. Ujetsu is... I guess Ujetsu is kind of a samurai film, but it has samurai in it, but I don't think it's straight up a samurai film. I think it's more of like a fable, which I loved. Right up my alley. Jeffrey Petrone is talking to Connor. I think I'm caught up. I think they're just talking amongst themselves, which is great. Keep doing that. I love that you guys are interacting. I gotta set up a Discord. I know I should probably set up a Discord. I don't think I always think of myself as too small of potatoes to set up a Discord because you guys are all connecting on other platforms, but maybe I should set up a Discord for you guys to chat in, because, you know, live streams are only temporary, and that could be a cool thing to get to talk to you guys more in. Sancho the Bailiff is incredible. Ex Bowden. Yeah, that's one we grabbed earlier. That was one of the first ones I showed. So yeah, can't wait to get to both of those. And we are caught up. Oh, real quick, Michael Smith, Fairbanks, The Black Pirate, and Robin Hood have been restored and are coming out soon. Oh, hopefully not too soon. Hopefully I can get over the Criterion damage before those come out, because I will definitely have to buy those. I think I saw The Black Pirate was getting a release, and I saved that, and I got to get that. That's awesome. I got to watch some Fairbanks. That's something I'm definitely interested in. Senior Stick says, "This is very sweet. You're tall potatoes," but I'm not. We have been camped out at 1,000 subscribers for a while. Obviously, the Criterion sale this month is helping. That's my biggest growth month. So thank you guys so much for everyone who's been watching the Criterion videos and leaving comments. I'm told that's a big help when you guys leave comments and thumbs up and stuff. Really appreciate all you guys who are doing those. But yeah, I'm happy being small potatoes. I mean, once you get to be too big, you get, you know, jerks in the comments, and I don't have any of that. I got great guys in the comments. Next is so glad to have this, because this is one of the Chaplin films that I haven't bought yet. This is Monsieur Verdoux. Is that how you pronounce that? Monsieur. Very excited to have this because I love Chaplin, and this is one of his later films, and I think it's very different from his other films. Chaplin plays shockingly against type in his most controversial film. That's amazing. I'm sold. Talk about I mean, just say Chaplin, I'm already sold. I love all of the films I've seen from him, and playing against type, and it's controversial, so can't wait to check this one out. I love the cover art of this one. Is he playing multiple roles, or is he playing a like master of disguise character? Ooh, I'm excited to check that one out. Yeah, another Chaplin film. I won't talk too much about that one. I've talked about Chaplin a lot on this channel. Everybody should go check him out. He is incredible. Ethan Edwards, Orson Welles gave Chaplin the idea for that. And then John says, it is awesome. Ooh, it is awesome. So he's excited about that. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to check out another Chaplin film because I have almost watched all the ones that I own. I haven't watched The Great Dictator yet, but I think I've watched all the other ones, and I haven't bought Limelight yet. I don't think I own. I don't own Limelight yet, and I don't know if that's in this set, but happy to have that one. People talking about David Lynch. Hard copy blues. I've picked up 29 Criterions since the sale. In my defense, I've watched 18. Wow. Like you watched them after you bought them, or you had already seen 18 and then you bought them. Either way, that's super impressive. 29 Criterions. Wow. That's congratulations. That's a lot of money. And I've done that in the past. And it was brutal, especially those first couple. I mean, I've been involved. This is my 6th Criterion sale in general, and those first couple, me and Connor went nuts and spent way too much money, but it was fun, and it was the first few videos on this channel, so I don't regret it. It was a good time. Trying not to talk too much so I don't lose my voice. This is Davian Washington. Are we able to watch the replay of this live once you get offline? Yes. I always leave the replays up, so you could definitely be able to watch this after the fact. You don't have to watch this all at once because it's going to be long. We're still trying to make progress here. I need to start moving quicker. Great Dictator is my personal favorite from Ex Bowden. Great to hear. I'm glad that I still have some of his best yet to come. I've seen some of the big ones, but I still have not seen City of Lights, which is his biggest one, I think. So looking forward to that, looking forward to Great Dictator, and looking forward to Monsieur Verdoux. Yes, I think I'm caught up. Let's keep going. Well, speaking of, someone mentioned this earlier. I think John told me to watch this before I watched 8.5. It's Fellini's La Dolce Vita. There it is. So we have it. We've got both. So I can watch this, and then I can move on to 8.5, and then I will have seen 3 Fellini films, and I can decide for myself. I think at that point I'd be like, okay, it's worth buying the box set if I love 3 of his films. So yeah, excited to have that. Epic artwork, not artwork, epic photo on the front there. That looks amazing. I'm assuming this takes place in Italy. 1960 film. Can't wait to check that one out. So much to watch. It's going to be quite the task. I might need to take a break in the next Criterion sale. Just get like a couple new releases because I've got a lot of homework to do here. This is Bigger Than Life, a film by Nicholas Ray, which I haven't heard anything about. Another 50s film. City Lights. Thank you. City Lights is Kevin House's favorite Chaplin film. The final scene is legendary. Awesome. Can't wait to check that out. Chaplin's become one of my favorite directors very recently. Like I just started watching his stuff a couple years ago, but the man was brilliant, genius, and he did everything. Like he was like the writer, the director, the lead actor. He even did the score and like the music for his films. Like dude was a quintuple threat. Is that a thing? He's amazing. I love him. Let me know what you think of Bigger Than Life. I've not heard of this film, and I've not heard of Nicholas Ray. Is this a lesser known film in the collection? One of the great American films of the 1950s. Interesting. Have to do some research on that one. It's a CinemaScope film. People talking about Fellini right there in the chat. This next one is an Ozu film. Oh, interesting. I have quite a bit of Ozu. I have 3 silent films from Ozu in the Eclipse section, and then I also have Good Morning from Ozu, which I still haven't seen, but I need to watch it. John quickly asks, DJ, does your son have a favorite Chaplin movie? The Circus. It's definitely The Circus, but that's my fault because I think we've watched that like 3 times together because that's one of my favorites, and we watch it a lot. And The Circus is probably my favorite just because it's so in my wheelhouse, and I think it's perfect. Obviously, it's not one of his deeper films, but I just love it. It's just a feel-good movie that I can throw on anytime. And the opening song that he added years later when he was kind of an old man, when he re-edited the film, is one of the best songs of all time. And I used to sing Swing Little Girl, that song that opens the film, to my daughter every single night. before I put her to bed. I would sing that song, and then she would go right to sleep. They both know all the words to that song by heart. Anytime we go in the backyard and I push them on the swings, they immediately start singing that song. And I'll always remember that. So yeah, it's got to be The Circus, because we actually just watched The Circus this year. We went home to my wife's family, and they had a bunch of family over. They live in Jackson, or near Jackson, Mississippi, and we were there, and they had a bunch of their family over, and they're all eating dinner, and I was watching the kids, because the kids, they're not going to sit at a dinner table forever while adults just talk. So I took them into the other room, and I played The Circus on the TV through my Criterion channel on my phone, and all the family members came out when we were finishing up, and they were very confused that my kids were sitting still and watching The Circus. But yeah, I show my kids a lot of silent films and a lot of black and white stuff, because I think it's important to give them a appreciation for that stuff early on. I also don't show my kids a lot of 3D animated films, because I want them to get a firm appreciation for 2D before they get too, brainwashed by 3D is better mentality that a lot of people have. A lot of people can't go back to black and white films once they've been raised on color films, and it's hard. So I want them to grow up with that stuff, so it's just second nature to them. So I try to show them as much of that stuff as they can, and they love it. I mean, I don't show them like stuff that they're not interested in. Obviously, if they're not into it, I'll turn it off. But most of the time, they're just excited to watch stuff with me. So love that. Circus is amazing, and my son thinks Chaplin's hilarious. He calls him I think he actually calls him Charlie Chaplin now, which is adorable. But he used to, back when he was like 2 or 3, he used to call him the silly guy. Brent says Late Spring is Ozu's second best after Tokyo Story. Beautiful film. Oh yes, I do also have Tokyo Story. I just got that digipack from that seller recently online. So Late Spring is another Ozu film. It looks similar to Tokyo Story with the visual style, at least of the release. I don't know how similar the films are, but excited to check that one out. Hard Copy Blue says Good Morning is fantastic. I know, I really want to check that one out. That's probably the next, either Tokyo Story or Good Morning is the next Ozu film I'm going to watch, because I've been told that Good Morning is a good film to watch with kids. So I want to show my kids that as soon as possible, so I need to watch it first. Here we go. Trying to catch up. People are talking back and forth. Expoden says, yeah, my younger brother has that problem. He refuses to watch black and white films entirely. My younger brother has the same thing, and it's a bummer, because so many great films. You just got to break through and show them that one film that blows their mind. For me, that was It's a Wonderful Life, and then the ball was rolling from there. Branched out to other old Christmas movies, and then this happened. So hopefully your brother finds that one film that's great for him. And yeah, I don't think my kids are going to have a problem, because they already like, who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll revolt some in their teen years, because I don't think they will. They love coming in here and grabbing movies off the shelf. We don't really use streaming services. Every time we watch something, they get to come in here. My son steps up on this and picks a movie off the shelf. So I think they're going to love film. Hopefully I'm doing a good job there. Hopefully it doesn't backfire. Ethan Edwards says, Ozu is a contender for greatest filmmaker of all time. That's good to hear. I know he's got a lot of films in the collection, so I can't wait to check out more of his stuff. Next up, Fritz Lang, Ministry of Fear. Fritz Lang was another huge love of Paul. You'll see a lot of Fritz Lang's films here, especially outside of the collection, which we'll get to later. But Ministry of Fear, an early Fritz Lang film, 1944. Yeah, I love Fritz Lang. I mean, have I only seen Metropolis? I think I've only seen Metropolis, but I have Die Nibelungen back there that I have been wanting to watch for a couple of years now, in the Adventure Through November. It's a fantasy film. I've got to get to that. It's daunting, man. It's long, and it's 2 films, or 2 parts. I got to get that. I got to watch that this year. Don't let me get through November this year, guys, without watching Die Nibelungen, because I have a feeling that I'm going to just fall in love with that film. But yeah, this is another Fritz Lang film. It is Ministry of Fear. And we'll get to some more Fritz Lang later. Let's see. Kevin Smith's joining us, everyone. Kevin House, you're raising them right, DJ. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm trying. It's tough. It is tough. They're only 2 and 4, but You know, it's already tough. It's tough raising kids, but I enjoy the heck out of it. I love it. Love it way more than I thought I was going to. Fritz Lang, baby, says Connor. He's a big fan of Fritz Lang. Metropolis is one of his, I think, top 4 favorite films, or if not, top 10. And he says the back half of M is absolutely perfection. And yeah, put M on the top of the list. Yeah, M is up there. Don't know if that's in here. I guess we'll see. Oh, hey, this is interesting. This is one that we found when John and I were visiting the store the other day, and John actually picked this up and had a hard time explaining to me what these films were because apparently they're indescribable. John's word was indescribable. But this is La Jetée and Sans Soleil. 2 films in this, and I believe, John, you described one of these as a fantasy documentary, which got me super intrigued. It's got some really interesting images on the front here. But yeah, 2 different films there. Are they documentaries? Let me know if you've seen this. One of them is only 27 minutes, so it's a short film. But one of them is feature length, 103 minutes. 2 more French films. Excited to check those out. Orion Knight recently watched Die Nibelungen. Lang was ahead of his time. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. You're getting me pumped. I'm gonna run out of water here. Might need to take a break. Grace, if you're watching, bring me water. Hard copy blues. Had to force my 7-year-old son to watch Stand By Me with me tonight, and he dug it. Good. I'm glad, man. That's really great. John agrees about M. Also see Testament of Dr. Mabuse in that stack on the left, and it's amazing. Oh, he sees him. He already sees him. Yeah, lots of Fritz Lang we're gonna get to. Here we go. Keep going down the line here. Video stash. Oh, sci-fi. John says it's a sci-fi documentary, not a fantasy documentary. And Expoden says Sans Soleil is absolutely mesmerizing. I like mesmerizing films. I've been watching a lot of, I can't remember his name right now, because I've got so many directors going through my head right now. This is a marathon. I don't even know if I'm going to get through this. I'm going to just put this up into another video. I don't want this video to be like 4 hours long. The director of EO. I've been watching a couple of his films lately, and talk about mesmerizing. I love his films. So I can't wait to check that out. Let's move along to Kino Lorber put out a great set of Lang's silent films. That's from Ethan. Jeffrey Petrone. I believe La Jetée influenced 12 Monkeys as well. Interesting. Short film that influenced 12 Monkeys. I do have that on the shelf back there from Arrow Video, so that's really cool. John is all over the place. John says, not really a documentary. Just watch it. Okay, you've lost me. You lost me, John. I'm so confused. I'm more confused than I was before I knew anything. Yes, Skolimowski. Thank you. Could not remember that name. Love his films. Such an interesting guy. Really cool. Next, we're looking at Repulsion. Roman Polanski's Repulsion, 1965. I feel like this is a love it or hate it director. I think I've heard mixed things about this director. Maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing it with someone else, but Repulsion, another film I know nothing about and am excited to learn about. You know, in the chat if you've seen those. Kino just put out a Blu-ray of Lang's Human Desire, which was out of one of his many Hollywood films, noirs. Gotta get me one of those. Okay, Connor, okay. I think I might have a bigger Lang collection after we finish this video than you. So you need to get on that. Kobayashi film, our first Kobayashi film of the evening. This is, how do I pronounce that? Harakiri? Harakiri. That's how I'm going to say it. Whoa, this is awesome. Samurai film. Another place where I'm completely out of my depth. Have not seen enough Japanese films, specifically samurai films from this period. Another 1962 samurai film from Kobayashi. And I have not seen any Kobayashi films, so I need to get on that ASAP. Brent says, Repulsion is my favorite Polanski film. I like it better than Rosemary's Baby. Great film. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Oh, gotcha. That's what I was thinking of. Connor says everyone loved Polanski's films. Everyone hates Polanski, the man. Okay, so he's one of those controversial directors. Okay, that must be what I was thinking of. Moving on, we've got Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, directed by Richard Brooks. Another film I know nothing about, but has some interesting visuals here on the front. Kind of a slimmer, bare bones release, but In Cold Blood, it's probably a crime film or a thriller film. Yeah, real life crime and punishment. Okay. Not my bag, but is absolutely my wife's bag. She loves crime films, loves true crime in general and anything about it. So that might be one I watch with her. 90 Weeks. Harakiri is terrific. Best duel ever. That sounds pretty cool. Can't wait to check that one out. Next one, another music film. I said, Paul's a big fan of music, especially music films. And this is 1978's I Want to Hold Your Hand, which is absolutely something I wouldn't have gravitated towards without this. So very happy to have that. Love the artwork on that. I remember Connor picked that up when in one of the sales that we did, and I really like the artwork, but it just, it's not something that I'm going to go out of my way to check out, but it's directed by Robert Zemeckis. Interesting. Very interesting. I Want to Hold Your Hand. 1978. Is that pretty early for Zemeckis? I've only heard of his later stuff. So that's exciting. And something that's outside of my wheelhouse for sure. Sorry, I heard something outside my door. Let me see. People are talking back and forth. Cool. In Cold Blood is a great book and an excellent film with a strong performance by Robert Blake. Kevin House has seen it, of course, because he's seen everything. Eddie's Films and Stuff. Haven't seen you in a while. Man, thanks for popping in. Hey man, been enjoying your videos. I wasn't huge on I Want to Hold Your Hand, even as a Beatles fan. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I'll like it more as not a Beatles fan. maybe that's the problem with it. Oh, it's Zemeckis' first film, says Connor. And Expo at the same time said it was right before Connor said it was his debut feature. Okay, I thought that was pretty early for Zemeckis. That's awesome. And it's very short, 99 minutes. Is it kind of a fun, breezy watch? I think Connor described it to me as a group of fans trying to get to a Beatles concert the whole movie. So maybe it has like a Daybreakers kind of vibe. Or The Out of Towners, another kind of like crazy comedy that's like spiraling out of control and continuously getting worse. Is it kind of that type thing? Because I love both of those films. Daybreakers is one of my favorite films. Not the Daybreakers. Day Trippers is one of my favorite films ever, and easily in my top 100. And then I really love The Out of Towners, which is not an American boutique release, but there is an Australian boutique release of The Out of Towners from Imprint, which I really, really want. Anybody in Australia that can send me Imprint stuff, please let me know, because it's so expensive to get that stuff shipped over here. But I really want that. I really want that Out of Towners Blu-ray, and I also really want the Blu-ray set from Imprint that is The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple sequel and The Odd Couple show, all in one box set. It's awesome. It's very expensive because it's out of print now, but I really, really love the first Odd Couple film, and I would like to get that series and watch that show with my wife because we enjoyed that. Let me keep going. Here we go. Next one we got is Brute Force, a film by Jules Dassin. Jules Dassin? Is that how you say his name? Jules Dassin? 1947, 98 minutes. As hard-hitting as its title, Brute Force was one of Dassin's first forays into the crime genre. Another crime film. I said we're going to get into it. And right, I'll just pop this one on too. It's another film by Dassin. Naked City. Right here, we've got the Naked City and Brute Force. Look very good together. Almost identical spines. That's pretty cool. They are identical spines, and they almost have the exact same font. So those will be right next to each other on the shelf. Looking great. Very cool. My wife will be excited about more crime films, especially 40s films. We love 40s. 40 is creeping up. I think 30s and 60s were my favorite decades on Letterboxd for a while, but 40s has been flying up. Watching so many Cary Grant films and Katharine Hepburn films lately with my wife, and the 40s is where it's at. Love the 40s. Keep looking at the chat, but it's mostly people talking back and forth. Here we go. 90 Weeks. Dassen was a Yank of French extraction, so Dassen is okay. Okay, so don't hit the I on that. Good to know. Thank you, 90 Weeks, for continuing to correct my pronunciation. I'm not going to remember all of this because I'm flying through. I don't know if I'm going to remember this entire video. I might be entering a fugue state here in a minute because we've got a lot of films still to go through. But Jeffrey Patron says they would probably be a solid double feature. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's really cool that those were right next to each other too. High and Low. Now this is a Kurosawa film that I heard a bunch of praise from Connor when he was here. And so I'm excited to have this one. This is 1963. This is a Kurosawa film that I believe has nothing to do with samurai or anything having to do. It's not even a period piece, I don't think. I think it's a contemporary. Yeah. Creating a diabolical treatise on class and contemporary Japanese society. So completely different from what Kurosawa is most known for. So very excited to check out High and Low. Adding that to the stack. And then going in a completely different direction, we're going to Vittorio De Sica. Umberto D. Umberto D. No, don't be sorry, 90 Weeks. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very thankful for you correcting my pronunciation because I'm an ignorant American who knows, we know no other languages. We only care about English here. And I actually really want to work on, Criterion's actually a great way to pronounce other, international names because I've been loving all the French films I've been watching, been loving the Italian cinema I've been watching. And like I said, I need to see more Japanese stuff. So keep it coming. If I say something, don't feel bad at all for correcting me. That's great. Exploding High and Low is one of the best films I've ever seen. See, you guys keep saying that about all of these, so it's going to be really tough to decide where to go with all this stuff. Umberto D has one of the great movie dogs. Yeah, I see that here, right there on the front. Interesting. One of the great movie dogs. Kevin House, I hope you have a Kleenex ready when you watch Umberto D. Oh no. Oh no. Thank you for the warning, because if it has a dog and it's sad, my wife will 100% not want to watch that one with me. That'll be too rough for her to watch. Let's go to John Huston. John Huston? Again, butchering everyone's name. The Asphalt Jungle. It's got to be another crime film because Criterion has a very similar vibe for all their crime film packaging. I mean, it goes right along with Brute Force and The Naked City with their black and white. This is a 1950 film, 112 minutes. Asphalt Jungle. I've seen that one quite a bit, actually, in stores. 90 Weeks as Antidote. Get De Sica's Miracle in Milan. I have Miracle in Milan. Good to know that's the same director. Are you saying that is more of a feel-good movie? So maybe after I watch what do I do with that? Oh, here it is. After I watch Umberto D, maybe go to Miracle in Milan. I'm down for a double feature, especially for a director I haven't experienced yet. Connor also grabbed The Asphalt Jungle because it has Sterling Hayden in it. L.A. Jewel, great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Asphalt Jungle is a great film noir. Makes perfect sense. He's going to have a lot of film noirs here. And yeah, it's weird that I'm going to have a very sizable noir collection because that's a genre that I haven't gotten into yet. Haven't really, I've dipped my toe into it. I've watched a few, but apparently Asphalt Jungle is another great one. Let me give my voice a rest here with some water. Jeffrey Patron, yes. So it is John Huston. Asphalt Jungle is a solid little picture, but not necessarily the Huston film I'd put in Criterion Collection before some of his others. Interesting. So you've seen quite a few of his films. I haven't, so I need to do that. Eddie's Films and Stuff also popping back in. He also loves Sterling Hayden in The Killing. Oh, that's why you needed to get it. Because you love The Killing, Connor. Robert Bresson's. Ooh. I'm very interested in this. if I'm not mistaken, I think Robert Bresson was kind of leading the French New Wave simultaneously while I've learned this from, I think that's who I'm thinking of. While Jacques Tati was working in the comedy section, I think Bresson was working in the dramas area of the French New Wave, and he kind of helped start it. I think that's what I've got from reading the essays in the Jacques Tati box set, because I did read through that. A Man Escaped, a Robert Bresson film. I think my first Robert Bresson film, which is very intriguing to me, because from what I've read about him, I really want to check out his stuff. And I love French cinema, and I have not seen enough French New Wave. Just a little bit, not nearly enough, because I know there's a lot of that in the Criterion collection. So interested to have that. And now for something completely different, we're going all the way to Stanley Kubrick. Bulk out my Stanley Kubrick collection a little bit because it is severely lacking. Kirk Douglas. Paths of Glory. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Paths of Glory from Stanley Kubrick. Another one. I think this one was recently recommended in my last live stream. I think that's where it was. It's hard to keep track of where all the comments come from. But got comments coming from YouTube videos and then TikTok videos and then live streams. And I think that's where it was. Someone recommended Paths of Glory as my next Kubrick film, because I've only seen The Killing, and I've seen 2001: Space Odyssey. Obviously, I've seen Dr. Strangelove. So Paths of Glory, I now have. Connor says Paths of Glory is excellent. Kyle's Movie Collection just joined. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping in. We've gone through 1 million movies, so make sure you watch the replay of this, because we're about not really halfway through. I wish we were halfway through. But he just popped in, and he says, love Paths of Glory. Great. Everyone seems to in the chat. One of Kubrick's masterpieces, says Orion Knight. Interesting. Okay, so John says Bresson sort of stands outside the new wave. Like Tati, he was a bit older and working earlier than Goddard and Truffaut. Okay, that makes sense, because I did read that Bresson and Tati were kind of bouncing back and forth off of each other a little bit, and Bresson had nothing but nice things to say about Tati in the quotes that they used in that essay in the Tati set. So that's really cool. Apparently they were friends. A film by Monte Hellman is Two Lane Blacktop. Two Lane Blacktop. I know nothing about this, but I'm assuming it's another. Is this a neo-noir? Because it's late. It's in the 70s. But yeah, know nothing about that one. But 70s is great. I'm getting more and more into 70s films. Like I said, I was watching some Skalimowski stuff lately. Deep End is a 70s film. It might become one of my favorite films, because I really, really like Deep End. I got the BFI release recently and watched that. That might be one I have to rewatch in October, because I really like that one. It's not really a horror film. It's more like a thriller, anti-coming-of-age story. Highly recommend Deep End. Check it out. Skalimowski's brilliant. Gotcha. Yes, Ethan, thanks for that. Bresson started much way before the new wave. Yeah, I knew he was French. I knew he was going back and forth with Tati, and I knew Tati was out of the new wave, so I should have put that together. But I got a lot I'm trying to keep in my brain right now, especially as I'm speaking. Kevin House, I've been debating whether to buy Two Lane Blacktop in the current sale. What does everybody think about it? Yeah, please let me know, because I now have it here. Michael Smith Blacktop is a road movie. Okay. Like a road trip movie, or just a road? Interesting. Jeffrey Patron says, interesting movie along the line of Easy Rider and 5 Easy Pieces. More so than a noir. Okay, a road movie. So we're in agreement. It's a road movie, which makes perfect sense by the cover of a car on the road. Here we go. Last one in this stack. Ooh. Connor's going to be excited about this one. Ooh, Exponent says Skalimowski's Moonlighting is also great. Good to know, because I've wanted to know where to go next. I watched EO first, and then I went back to Deep End, so maybe I'll check out Moonlighting next, because I love his style. Connor, you're going to be excited about this one. It's Ingmar Bergman's The Magician. The Magician. I think you really enjoyed this one. Did you not? I can't remember. Connor watched all of those and all of Bergman's films in a month, and I was reading all of his Letterboxd reviews, but I mean, I can't keep all those in my head. They were all running together. You did one every single day. So yes, The Magician. I think this is one that you told me that I would be interested in, or you think I would be interested in. So cool. Yeah, The Magician. Connor just freaked out in the chat. I still don't know if that's an excited eek or an upset eek. So yeah, that's The Magician. We finished the stack. Finished with stack number 2. Whew. This is a marathon. Yes, Connor says I love The Magician. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I remembered. So really excited to check that one out. I don't think that's going to be my first Bergman. I think I'm going to go with Seventh Seal, and then I may watch 2 of his films that have summer in the title, because I've been in a big summer film kick. I was talking about this with John. I want to check those out, but they seem like very depressing summer films, not like the summer films that you want to watch in summertime. So maybe not, but Magician might be one of the first ones I check out, because Connor spoke very highly of it. Put this stack down here. Oh. Whew. This is going to be brutal. I'm going to have to sleep in tomorrow. All right. Moving on to a new stack. Let's see what we got. Steve McQueen in The Great Escape. This is one that I had on my Amazon wish list that I need to remove. So somebody doesn't buy that for me because I already have it. This looks amazing. I have not seen, I don't know if I've seen any Steve McQueen movies, but you know, this is a classic. Everyone talks about this movie, and I wanted to get it based on the synopsis alone, and now I have it. I think it's a Prison Break movie, right? Am I right? That's what the barbed wire all over the place would lead me to believe. Great Escape. Moving right along. People talking about other people's channels in the collection. I need to get more. That's the thing I'm the worst at, is like interacting and networking with other channels. I need to do that more. Someone recently reached out, a couple people reached out to have me guest on some of their channels, and I really want to get to that. I'm gonna have to wait till after the month of July, because July is crazy for me with all the sale hall stuff. But yeah, I need to start networking better and meeting other people in this space and guesting on their channel, and having people guest on my channel, because I know it's good for the community when we do collabs. All right, Video Stash. Great Escape is a wonderful epic war adventure. Okay, so it's a war movie and also based on a true story. And he says yes, an escape from a concentration camp. Okay, that's really interesting. I have to check that one out. The Rolling Stones, another music film. Gimme Shelter. So there we go. I'll have to put all the music films together, because there's already been quite a few. That is Give Me Shelter from the Rolling Stones, which I know nothing about. So that's exciting. I'm going to be learning a lot. Next up, we have Ernest Hemingway's The Killers, directed by Don Siegel. And if I'm not mistaken, this one has another extra film on. Yes. It has The Killers from 1946 on here as well, which I think is in another language. Oh, no. No. That is just something smudged on the screen that makes it look like an accent mark, but it's not. So 2 films, I'm assuming it's a remake. I love when they include bonus features that are full films. I just bought the Petite Maman, which has a full film as a bonus feature on there, which I'm really excited about checking both of those out. But yeah, this is The Killers. I'm assuming, I guess I shouldn't assume. It says Ernest Hemingway's. Maybe it's not based on a book. Maybe it's just an Ernest Hemingway. Did he write the script? Oh no, it's based on a short tale by Hemingway. Okay, awesome. I like Hemingway. I'm not an immediate crime movie fan, but that might be my in, is to because it's based on an Ernest Hemingway book. People are saying Gimme Shelter is amazing. Big fan of Gimme Shelter, says Jeffrey Petrone. Drew Bond, first time I saw your name in here. Welcome. Awesome to have you in the chat. Thanks for popping in. He says Gimme Shelter is amazing, more than just a concert film. Okay, interesting. What do you mean by more than just a concert film? Color me interested. I really love that artwork on there. It's not just a face. There's like a crowd of people inside that face. That's really cool artwork. I love that. Moving on from The Killers, we're going to Rashomon, which is one that I'm very excited to have because I was already considering getting this one. This was one that I've been considering getting for a while. Love that artwork on the front. Rashomon is one that I am mostly aware of because of the style that the film uses, which has been used in a number of other films. I believe that it's from this. I think this is the first thing to do it, but I recently watched last year Ridley Scott's film The Duel. Is that what it's called? The Last Duel, which I think uses the same narrative device as this, where it shows the same story from different people's perspectives. And I want to see where, the first instance, or at least the first notable instance of that on film. And it's a really short film. It's only 88 minutes. 1950 Kurosawa. I'm gonna have so much Kurosawa to get through. People are gonna be excited about that because people have been trying to get me into Kurosawa forever. Ooh, is this a boxing film? Another Dawson film, Night and the City. Night in the City. Boom. I'm assuming it's a boxing film from the 50s. Oh, I love that whole, just that whole era. Especially if I'm gonna watch a boxing film, watching one from the 50s when it was just like rough and raw and they were just like beating the crap out of each other. I love the artwork on that. If it's anything like that artwork, if it's anything like the style that artwork sells me on, that actually sounds really interesting. I never heard of this one. Yeah, I completely missed this whole director. That's exciting. Let me see. What are people saying? Last Duel, yes. Okay, right about that. Adam says, do you own Nashville? Yes, I own the out-of-print digipack for Nashville. Just got that a couple weeks ago, last month sometime, and I just watched it for the first time on July 4th because Connor told me it was the most American film of all time. So I took his recommendation and I watched that, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. And I did a little short about that a couple days ago. I do have Nashville. Thanks for asking. Connor Nielsen, every television show has the obligatory Rashomon episode. Yeah, and I want to see know where that comes from, the original, because we've seen it so many times. Michael Smith also says the cinematography in Rashomon is amazing. Good to hear. I'm a huge sucker for cinematography that can get me through a film all on its own. I mean, that's basically what EO is just gorgeous cinematography for an hour and a half. It's got a cool little fable about a donkey as well. Of course, there's meaning behind that, but the cinematography of that movie just amazing. People talking about Rashomon. John says Dawson is cool. You'll like his movies. Good. Well, I have 3 of them now, so can't wait to check those out. Kevin House says Night and the City and Brute Force are both great Dawson films. Well, we've got both of those, and we've also added, so we've got 3 now. So I think we're doing pretty good. Night in the City is fascinating, has a famous wrestler in it. Awesome. Ethan Edwards always with the trivia. Ethan Edwards says, if you love Nashville, you'll love Shortcuts. Shortcuts, Shortcuts was on my radar because a few months ago, Grace and I watched another Robert Altman film called The Player, which is a great movie, completely different from Nashville. But having watched The Player and really enjoying that from 1992, I looked into Robert Altman's other films in the collection, and Shortcuts, I read the description on that, and I think it has a very young Robert Downey Jr. in it, but it's like similar to Nashville, which I've now seen, a bunch of different vignette stories of different scenarios, and in Nashville they all converge. I don't know if they converge in Shortcuts or not. Maybe they do, but yeah, I'm obviously very interested in that because I've loved the 2 Altman films I've seen, and if it's similar to Nashville, I got to check it out. Next up, we have, Ryan Knight loves The Player. What a fun film, right? It was amazing. Meta commentary on the film industry while also being an over-the-top crazy murder mystery story. So much fun. Harold and Maude. I've got Harold and Maude, which I already have in my collection. This will be a double of that, which is coming up on my list. This is on my short list. I really want to check this one out. This seems like something I'm really going to like. If you know my sensibilities and and you've seen this film, I think I'm on the right track with this. I think I'm really gonna like this film. It's like a real dark comedy, romance, semi-romance, friendship, 70s film. I think I'm gonna love this. I can't wait to watch it. And I now have a bonus copy of that, so I'm gonna have to do something with that. Interesting here. SC, so is the Harold and Maude the one with Cat Stevens listed on the cover or not? Was an interesting omission and reprint on Criterion's part. Yes. It says songs by Cat Stevens. I didn't know there was a different printing of that. That's interesting. I'll have to check my other copy and see if that has it as well. Yeah. That's cool. Thanks for that. I didn't know about that. Yes, Harold and Maude is out of print now, actually, in Criterion. Yeah, and I had to pay quite a lot for my copy. I found it at Half Price Books, and I paid $50 for it, which I was glad to do at the time. But now I got another copy, so we'll see what I can do with that. Next, we're going to My Darling Clementine. This is a John Ford film, guys. I'm very excited. I've watched several John Ford films. On St. Patrick's Day, we watched The Quiet Man, which we absolutely loved. I think I gave that movie like 5 stars on Letterboxd. I don't know if it was just the mood I was in that night or just having a great St. Patrick's Day with my wife, but whew, did we love The Quiet Man. Everything about that movie. Incredible performance by, of course, John Wayne, but also the lead actress in that film, who's one of my favorite actresses. I already knew her from, Miracle on 34th Street, and then she was in my favorite. Thanks for the hearts, guys. People are popping up hearts in the chat. Really appreciate that. She's in Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is also one of my favorite movies. I also gave that 5 stars. So she's popping up in a lot of my favorite movies, but The Quiet Man is amazing. And then right after The Quiet Man, we were in a John Ford kick. So we're in a John Ford mood. So we went straight to The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, which is another incredible movie. So I'm 2 for 2 with John Ford. And this is another one, My Darling Clementine. An early John Ford, 1946. So I can't wait to check that one out. So pumped about My Darling Clementine. Kevin House, I can't think of My Darling Clementine without thinking of the classic MASH episode in which Colonel Potter tries to show it to the camp. Interesting. Yes, Video Stash. LOL, the fight scene in Quiet Man is so nuts, isn't it? It's so fun, and it goes on forever, and I loved everything about it. Maureen O'Hara, thank you, Gus, with a quick response on that name. Love Maureen O'Hara. She's great, and she's in a ton of my favorite movies. The Quiet Man is amazing. I agree, Gus. And The Quiet Man is available from Olive Films. Is that the name of it? It's a boutique label that I think has gone out of print. Maybe not, but there's a really nice boutique slipcase version of The Quiet Man that I have to get. I have to own that. That might be one that we watch every year on St. Patrick's Day. Who knows? Because we absolutely had a blast with it. And The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance has an awesome release from... What label was that? I think it's actually World Cinema Library. Yes, World Cinema Library has a gorgeous big deluxe release of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. It's going to run me about $100 probably. I think that's the cheapest I've seen it, but I do want to hold out and get that because I really, really love that movie. I mean, John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart's maybe my favorite actor. And Grace and I love all of his movies. And I really, really love that movie. I watched it with my dad. He and my mom came over and we all watched that as a family. It was a really great experience. And especially the day after watching The Quiet Man, John Ford is... I gotta watch more John Ford movies because he might become one of my favorite directors of all time. There is a nice Paramount 4K release of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, but I think I want to hold out and get that World Cinema Library release on 4K from China because it's a gorgeous release and it looks amazing. And it's also 4K, so let me see what's next. I don't know what this is. The Complete Jean Vigo. So is this a full... Okay, so this is a collection of films from a certain director. This is 4 films. Is it Jean Vigo or Jean Vigo? Not sure, but that's really cool that they put 4 films in just a standard case like that. Let me move that out of the way. Yes, Olive. Thank you, Ethan. I thought that was from Olive. Keep going through all these. So many things to respond to. I see another fave approaching. Vigo, beautiful films, source of French New Wave, especially Truffaut. Okay, okay. So now we're getting into French New Wave, which I'm very interested in because I've seen a lot of post-New Wave French films. But I want to go back to the source. Oh, I love that booklet. Booklet with the texture on it and the colors inside. This is cool. This is really cool. Let's see. We've got 4 films here. One silent, which is 23 minutes, a short film. And then we've got one film from 1931, one from 1933, and one from 1934. 3 talkies, 1 silent film, all pretty short. Or 2 short films. Technically 3, because that one's only 44 minutes. And then 1 feature-length film. Excited to check that one out. That's really exciting. I did not know much about that one. John says Vigo is great. Died too young. Ethan says died in his 20s. Wow. Made 2 masterpieces and then died in his 20s. Well, that's why he has a. So this is this? I guess it says the complete Vigo. So yeah, this is all of his films. Wow, that is a huge bummer and very sad. Man, but that could be a filmography that I could watch, all the way through, pretty easily. Wow, that's super unfortunate. But if I gotta check those out. Made 2 masterpieces. And Kevin House says most consider Vigos's L'Atalante to be one of the most beautiful romances ever. Okay. Thanks for telling me that because my wife is big into the Criterion romance films. She's been looking for those this month, so I'll have to tell her about that. Because she loves French films too. We've been watching those together. Died of tuberculosis. Ah, God, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's real. Sorry. What the world is this? Oh gosh, am I gonna like this, guys? Is this for me? I just opened it up and saw this. Shock Corridor, 1963. Great American writer, director, producer Samuel Fuller masterfully charts the uneasy terrain between sanity and madness. Okay, maybe I will. I love movies about insanity. Psycho's one of my favorite movies ever. And this is also 60s. So it can't be too shocking if it came out in the 60s, right? Right? Who knows? Shock Corridor. Brent, Shock Corridor is a powerful film. Highly recommend. Fuller is amazing. I love this. Very unique cover art. Shock Corridor. I now have that. And another one that is the same director, same artist, and same color palette. The Naked Kiss. John says, and now for something completely different. Yeah, there's going to be some whiplash because these are not organized in any way. They're just kind of lumped together. So we've got, but these two look great together. Same director, similar themes. Someone let me know. Are these similar? Filmed by Samuel Fuller, The Naked Kiss. This is 1964, so the year after Shock Corridor. I love the design on these. Both of these look really great. Let me know. Let me know. What genre are these in? Are these somewhat thrillery? Could I maybe fit these into an October watch list? Who knows? Not sure what these are. I'll read your guys' comments on these. Connor's freaking out about Shock Corridor. It's so excellent. Ethan says pick up South Street. It's also Fuller. Or pick up on South Street is also Fuller. And mentions another Fuller film that needs a Blu-ray. SC says Fuller is a horse of a different color. Great eclipse set for him. Okay, so maybe it's hard to describe his films quickly in just the chat, but cool. I'll do some more research on those because I love the artwork on those. Very intriguing covers. Look really great together on the shelf, and they will be right next to each other on the shelf because they have the same color scheme. Oh. You're selling me, Ethan. He says Fuller was a journalist and his films all have a sensationalistic feel. That's pretty good. That's intriguing to me. I like that kind of stuff. Almost surreal, maybe? Or just sensational? Maybe just sensational. Maybe not surreal. I guess I'll have to learn about that myself. Next, we have an Edgar G. Ulmer film, Detour. Another gorgeous cover on this one. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Love the tritone. Monochromatic with the yellow pop on the back. Sorry if I popped the microphone there. Oh, love the stripes. This looks awesome. Now, is this another road movie? Oh, I'm guessing this is a crime movie. Oh, film noir. Yep. Another film noir. 1945. Detour. What's next? What's next? Oh, they're talking about it right in the chat. You guys are right on point. Kevin says Pickup on South Street and Park Row are excellent films. Well, I'll tell you, sir, we got Pickup on South Street right here. Another incredible looking cover. Love the gold. Looks really nice. Pickup on South Street. So another Fuller film. So I've got a quick 1, 2, 3 Fuller collection growing as we speak. Next up, another music film, another one that I wouldn't have gravitated towards, so I'm glad that it popped into this collection. This is a 4K that just came out. That's sad. Paul just picked this up recently, it seems, this year. Did this come out this year, or was it end of last year? Last Waltz. Martin Scorsese film, other music film. There it is, 4K release, 4K sticker still on there. That is a huge bummer, but hopefully I can get to that eventually. People are talking about Detour. Orion Knight says Detour is only like an hour. That's good. That's great to hear. Super short film, but great noir film. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of noir films are kind of short. Some of the ones I've seen are pretty short. You get in, get out. I watched a neo-noir recently that was bonkers. What was that called? I was looking up summer films to watch. What is it called? A Hot Day in Summer? Something like that. Let me know what I'm thinking of. You guys know what I'm thinking of. It's a neo-noir from the 90s, I think. It has Jennifer Connelly in it. I think it's called A Hot Day in Summer, something like that. Crazy movie. Crazy movie. But I enjoyed it. I actually did. Another film festival movie, Folk Music at Newport, 1963 to 1966, a film by Murray Lerner. Lots of music films in here, which is great to get me out of my comfort zone. My wife is a huge classic music fan, and she loves musical stuff, so she might watch these with me. That is Festival, 1967. Kevin House. Industrial vibe color scheme. Yeah, Adam, I love the color scheme on those. Kevin House, I wondered if The Last Waltz would be in Paul's collection. Such great music in a historic concert. Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's going to have all the big Criterion music films he's going to have, because he was a huge fan of classic music. And yeah, it's right there. That's the 4K. You called it. Next up. Oh, I'm so excited about this. So I said earlier we did I watched Diabolique. We did a full discussion on that. Check it out on the channel. Me and Connor used to actually have time for discussion videos on the channel, but we haven't got to them lately, even though he's been asking for them. There's just not enough time in the day, man. Sorry, man. But this is The Wages of Fear, another film by Henri Georges Clouzot, director of Diabolique. Very, very excited to check that out. It's a 53 film. I think that's earlier than Diabolique, if I'm getting my dates right. So that's really cool. Wages of Fear. Yeah, this is another of his, I think this might be his other biggest film up there with Diabolique, or at least most famous. Wages of Fear. So excited to have a Clouzot film, another Clouzot film in the collection. Is it called The Hotspot, Adam? That might be what it's called. I think you're right. Bonkers film. Everybody, if you're in the mood for a summer neo-noir, crazy, like sexualized murder mystery, I don't even know how to describe it. Hotspot is a bonkers movie. Bonkers is the best word I can describe. But yeah, The Hotspot. Daniverse, hey, Daniverse is here. Thanks for popping in, brother. Good to see you. He's a good friend of mine. We talk on the other channel that I am associated with, Geekvolution. Ethan Edwards, who cares about colors on cases? No one would be weird enough to organize by color rather than alphabetically. You sound like all the comments on my TikTok videos. But yeah, that's my thing, man. I love it. Don't hate. Brent says, yes, Wages of Fear is so good. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited. Whew, I'm getting lightheaded under these lights. We've got to get through this. This is going to be the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm going to talk for at least 3 hours and talk about as many films as I possibly can. And I'm going to do it for you guys, because this is I mean, it's great. It's great. You guys are teaching me a lot. I'm learning a lot. Don't know how much I'm going to retain, but I'm going to do my best. Kyle's Movie Collection. Thanks for popping in again. I got to check out your channel. People were talking about it earlier. You probably have way more subscribers than I do. And the fact that you're popping in, it means the world to me, man. Thanks so much. He says Wages of Fear is amazing. Wages of Fear is one of the most suspenseful films ever, says Orion Knight. That's great to hear. I mean, I thought Diabolique was incredible. Maybe I'm just a wimp, but that ending is so good in Diabolique. So I trust anything Clouseau's going to put out, especially suspense thrillers. Daniver says the Dennis Hopper film. I think so. I think Dennis Hopper is the star of The Hotspot, if that's what you're talking about. But I think that's what it is. I've been holding this forever. Gus has already moved on. He's like, stop talking about The Hotspot. Get to the film that's in your freaking hand, dude. Gus says, I loved Mildred Pierce so much that I double dipped on the 4K 2 months after getting the Blu-ray. LOL. Wow. Okay, so high praise from Gus about Mildred Pierce, starring Joan Crawford, directed by Michael Curtiz, another Michael Curtiz film, which that means Jeffrey Petrone is going to be a big fan. This is a late. No, it's 1945. Okay. So what are we talking about here? Is this kind of a Seawolf territory? Is that what we're getting to here with the 40s kind of low-key suspense film? Mildred Pierce. Oh, very happy to have that one. Love the I won't mention color anymore because Ethan will give me a hard time. But sweet. Great to hear so much from you, Gus, about Mildred Pierce. Let me see. Ethan Edwards Clouseau made a great documentary about Picasso that's available on Blu-ray. Interesting. I'm a big fan of fine art. My wife is even a bigger fan of fine art. We both went to art school. We had to take 4 years of fine art classes, or 4 years. We had to take 4 quarters of fine art classes to get our graphic design degrees. So people were commenting on my Monet shirt that I wore when I went to the store with John. So yeah, a documentary about Picasso directed by Clouseau. That sounds amazing. What label put that out, Ethan? Let me know, because that sounds fascinating. Oh, Daniverse, thank you. Dennis Hopper directed the film. Don Johnson is the star of The Hotspot. Thank you. Apparently, I don't know a lot about that film, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ethan says Mildred is kind of a melodrama. Okay, interesting. John says it's also noir-ish women's picture. Okay, cool. Very good to hear. And then Jeffrey Petrone says a story about a mother, really, in a sense. Okay, so everyone loves Mildred Pierce. And I love Michael Curtiz, so I gotta check that one out soon. Like Double Indemnity, so they're comparing it to Double Indemnity. A lot of talk about Mildred Pierce. That's a great one, apparently. Let me see, Brent. I personally organized my film collection alphabetically by director. See, everyone's got to find their own way. My way just happens to be color, because I'm a crazy person, but it makes me happy. I mean, it's in my office. Like, I already made a short about this. I don't need to defend myself anymore, but if I'm gonna see it every day, that's one of the things I love about this house. Like in the last house, my films were all up in the playroom, and I never got to see them, except for when I was making videos. Now it's right here downstairs in my office, so I get to see it all the time. So I want it to look, aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and for me personally, that means by color. I love it. Let me see. Ethan Edwards says Kino Lorber put out The Mystery of Picasso, has clips of him creating art. Sweet. I'm gonna have to get that Kino Lorber release. I'm already buying so many Criterions though, so I really don't want to branch out too many labels, but I already have some Kino Lorbers. Next up, we're going to Odd Man Out by a director we haven't spoke about at all, Carol Reed. Odd Man Out, Carol Reed. Anybody a fan? Anybody know about this movie? Someone has to. Odd Man Out, taking place largely over the course of one tense night. Okay. Another noir, makes sense. Hitchcock, our first Hitchcock of the evening. This is Notorious, which is a Hitchcock film I did not have. So very excited to have that. John, actually, when we were together in that Criterion video, asked me if I was shocked that I hadn't seen Notorious yet. So I will see it. Grace and I love watching Hitchcock movies together. It's one of the big directors that we watch together. So we will pop in Notorious before too long and check that one out, because that is one of his best, so I've heard. Let me see. Here it is, guys. You can all rejoice in the chat because we have got Fritz Lang's M. There it is. Second Fritz Lang joint of the evening, and it's got Peter Lorre in it. That's all I need to hear. Love that guy. I've only seen him in, what have I seen him in? I've seen him in Hitchcock's first Man Who Knew Too Much, and then and then the amazing, wonderful film that I watch every Halloween now, Arsenic and Old Lace. He's hilarious in that. So good to see him in another serious, more serious film, because I love him both. He was the best part of the first Man Who Knew Too Much, and hot take, I like the first one better than the remake. I know some people won't agree with me, but and it's come from the biggest Jimmy Stewart fan in the world, but for some reason I like the first one better. And then so I loved him in that, and I also loved him in Arsenic and Old Lace. So there we go, another Peter Lorre film and another Fritz Lang film. Awesome, everyone's freaking out. Well, Gus wants me to go back to talking about Mildred Pierce. Sorry, man, we got to move on. We got a lot to get through. But yeah, I'm glad you love Mildred Pierce so much. You are really selling me on that one. Let's see here. We've got people freaking out about M. Incredible film, magnificent, from 90 Weeks. Ethan says M is the best. Lorre was performing on stage in a comedy while also playing a child murderer in M. The man's amazing. The man's incredible. He might become one of my favorite actors if I see more of his stuff. I've only seen 2 of his films so far. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, never mind. I have seen him in Casablanca too. Thank you, Drew, for the reminder. I need to watch Casablanca again because, or Casablanca. I need to watch it again because that was one of the earliest, like, kind of classic films I saw. I think I saw It's a Wonderful Life first, and then Casablanca is a film that my wife loves. She's the one that has that big, giant Blu-ray box set up there, which is the most beautiful slipcover I've ever seen on anything. It's like a die-cut slipcover that's like intricately cut with these tiny little holes everywhere. I don't even know how that was made. It's amazing. So she took me to the theater and we watched Casablanca really early on. So I wasn't like, my mind wasn't as open as it is now. So I didn't have, the best experience watching that film. I did really like it, but I would appreciate it so much more now. I know if I were to rewatch it. So I forgot he was in that. So thanks for that reminder. Jeffrey Patron says, Peter Lorre brought such flavor to projects. Astounding what he could do to a picture. I mean, I've only seen apparently 3 films, and I agree. I think he's the best part of both of those films. Well, maybe not the best part of Arsenic and Old Lace, but he's definitely memorable. I think Cary Grant is just amazing in Arsenic and Old Lace. So delightful. And everyone, all the actors are great in that movie. Love that movie. That'll be something I'm definitely watching again this October. Tom Jaw says, M is in my wish list. I might buy it this sale. I hope you do, man. I hope you do, and I hope you really enjoy it. If you haven't seen it already. Maybe you have. Let me see here. John says, I feel like everyone should watch Casablanca yearly, right? Probably. I don't know if I can watch anything yearly because there's just so much to watch. So much that I'm missing out on. I do watch It's a Wonderful Life yearly, though. And like I said, Arsenic and Old Lace. For some reason, holiday movies are easier for me to watch yearly because I want to be in that mood. Let's move along. People are still talking about everything Casablanca and Fritz Lang, but I gotta move on. We gotta someone just mentioned this one, Double Indemnity, the 4K. So happy to finally have that one. Obviously, I haven't heard anything but great things about that one, and that's one that's been on Grace's wish list for a long time, but we haven't been able to track down the 4K, and I refuse to let her buy the Blu-ray now that the 4K was already out. I'm not like a stickler for 4K, but like if it's out, don't buy the Blu-ray. Just wait till you can find a 4K, and we finally have one. Got to see that as soon as possible. She's gonna want to watch that soon because she loves Billy Wilder, and she's had that one on her watch list for a long time now, so she'll be very excited to have that. And the next one, In a Lonely Place. Very excited to have this one. A bogey film. We've got a bogey film. Humphrey Bogart in A Lonely Place, 1950, 93 minutes. This is one that Connor picked up and told me about when he was here last July. And we talked about this one on the channel, so go back and watch those July Criterion Adventures if you haven't seen those. Those are some of my favorite movies we've ever made. We had a blast hitting all those stores. We hit all those 4 stores in 4 days. He was only here for like 5 days. It was a crazy week. And we shot all those videos and got them all up. And I think we shot more videos than that. It was a crazy week. One of my favorite weeks ever, Connor. Thank you so much for making the trek down here so we could do that. But I remember he picked this one up and it stood out to me because I was just watching some Humphrey Bogart films myself. I had just watched Treasure of the Sierra Madre. I had just watched The African Queen. So I was watching a lot of Humphrey Bogart films, and Connor picked up this one, so that one's on my radar. Craig Parsons, first time I'm seeing your name. Thanks. Maybe you've been here the whole time, but thanks for popping in the chat. He says, In a Lonely Place is incredible. His favorite bogey film. Okay. Lots of people chiming in about In a Lonely Place. Daniverse, it's one of his favorite films as well. Nicholas Ray is an underappreciated master. Johnny Guitar, also great. Sweet. Very excited about that one. All right. Kiss Me Deadly is the next film on the list, produced and directed by Robert Aldrich. That has to be a crime film. I mean, what else could that be? Based on the front there. And what else could it be based on that title? That's like the most film noir. Maybe it's not a film noir, but that's yeah. Okay. Kiss Me Deadly is a film noir masterwork as well as an essential piece of Cold War paranoia. Oh, that gets me interested. And it features as nervy an ending as has ever been seen in American cinema. Sweet. My wife's going to love this film. She loves crime stuff. She loves femme fatales. And I love how they made that look like a magazine cover. Incredible looking release. Can't wait to check that one out. That is a relatively early spy number. 568. Kiss Me Deadly. 90 Weeks says crazy flick. Sweet. Good to hear. I love crazy flicks. And another crime film. This is more of a spy movie. This is one of my wife's favorites. This is one she saw long before she met me, and she showed it to me. We actually have this on the shelf back there, non-Criterion, but it is kind of an ugly release. I don't love it. It's got like one of those, is it Universal? One of those company standard slipcovers that have like the date on it that they put a bunch of films in. Don't love those. I love when a film release has a unique identity. And this one definitely does. It's Charade. A film that I did not love when we watched it. I'm not a big spy movie fan, but my wife is a huge Audrey Hepburn fan, and she loves Charade, and I need to give it another watch because I know everybody loves this film, and it's an older Cary Grant performance, and this was before I was as huge of a Cary Grant fan as I am now, so I'm sure I would love it a lot more having seen more of his filmography. That's Charade, and that is the stack. We finished the third stack. All right. Only 2 more stacks. I'm going to put these on the floor real quick. Whew. All right, 2 more stacks to go. Jeffrey Patron says wonderful score for Charade. I don't remember that. I need to watch that again because I am a big score guy, so I need to check that out. We've got 2 more stacks here. We're almost coming to the end of the Criterion stuff, and then we will get into looks like Kino Lorber, looks like Indicator, looks like Shout Factory, Shout Select, some Warner Archive. So we've got a lot of other labels here. Wanted to get the Criterion stuff out of the way first. So we've got some interesting stuff here. I'm going to go, here we go. Now this is a film that I don't want to throw my wife under the bus, but, and because she's usually really open-minded and open to stuff much more than, horror stories I hear about other people's significant others. So I'm very thankful for her, but we started watching My Life as a Dog on the Criterion channel. I popped it on one night, and just the opening credits, she was like, what are you watching? And we ended up turning it off and watching something else. But let me know what you guys think of My Life as a Dog, because it seems very unique. I haven't seen more of it, but yeah, it was a very. I mean, I was very interested. It's like told from a dog's perspective, I think. But yeah. Just wasn't the right night for it that night, but we will get to it eventually. People loving Charade, people vehemently disagreeing with me. Like I said, sometimes I don't have the first best watch of things and I need a second viewing. So I always like to try to do that before I get rid of a film, because There's been films that I wasn't a fan of first time I watched and then fell in love with on multiple viewings. So, John, do you have room on your shelves for all these discs? Yes, I do, because I've been storing them there since I picked them up, but it is going to get pretty tight. Pretty tight. We're going to fill up the Criterion corner pretty soon. And we've got a lot of room still down here. So this whole section here is just full of DVDs that I will probably put under in the cabinets down here. Because I usually reserve these shelves for Blu-rays and 4Ks. And this is more like TV stuff down here that I don't really feel the need to display. So I'll move those down. That'll give us a lot more room. We have a whole nother shelf on the Criterion corner shelf over there. So we got a lot of room over there. We've got some more room down here. And then I will start curating the collection because, like I've said in the past, there's lots of stuff back here that I don't need anymore. That I bought, when you first become a collector in high school, early college years, you're just buying everything. Oh, this is cheap. Let me buy this just to fill up the shelves. But now I'm much more picky with my stuff. So I'm going to start curating this collection and start selling stuff off on eBay or whatever. Maybe I'll get on Whatnot. Everyone's selling things on Whatnot lately. So I'll make room. I'll make room for the good stuff, John. Don't worry. Brent, I may be in the minority, but I'm not a huge fan of Charade either, DJ. Maybe you need to give it yet another chance. Yeah, I'm with you, man. But I'm also not a big spy guy, so it's not really my thing. Maybe you're not either. I don't know. Maybe you are. But yeah, maybe give it another chance. Next up, we got another Carol Reed film. This is directed by, Carol Reed, Night Train to Munich. Really cool cover on that. What is this about? This looks interesting. Carol Reed's Night Train to Munich is a twisting, turning cloak and dagger delight, combining comedy, romance, and thrills with the greatest of ease. Okay, I gotta add this to the list to watch with Grace because this sounds right up her alley. And it looks like it is a Nazi film, World War II. Judging by the swastika. Very interesting. 1940, 95 minutes. Wow. Everything I read about that makes me more and more interested in it. What was the other Carol Reed film we saw? Got 2 Carol Reed films now. Interesting. Next up, we've got Elevator to the Gallows. Another film I've heard quite a bit about. But I've heard quite a bit about its quality, but I don't know much about the story. But that one is still sealed. A 1958 French black and white film at 91 minutes. This is apparently his debut, or his French debut. No, his feature debut. This is his debut. This is Louis Malle. Is that how you say that? Louis Malle? Wow. 24-year-old debut feature, mesmerizing performance by Jean Moreau. Ooh, I like him. Interesting. Interesting. Elevator to the Gallows. John says another great Carol Reed film in the collection is The Fallen Idol. All right. Interesting. All right, so we've got Carol Reed film, and then we've got a Louis Malle film, Elevator to the Gallows. And then we've got another Nicholas Ray film. We've already been to one. Kevin House says Elevator to the Gallows has a great Miles Davis score. Interesting. Really cool. And then we have another 1948 black and white film from Nicholas Ray, They Live by Night. Heard a lot about that film, and now I have it. Nicholas Ray, another director that I have not seen any films from, and I need to get on that. Oh, there's so many different directions I could go in with this collection. It's gonna be tough. Man, okay. So Paul is a really big fan of Dessen because here's another Dessen film. It's called Rififi. One of those two. I'm guessing. Maybe there's a third option. Dual format Blu-ray and DVD edition. It's kind of heavier. But yes, another Dessen film. After making such American noir classics as Brute Force and The Naked City, both of which we've already discussed, he went on to Paris and embarked on his masterpiece. Okay, so this is apparently one of his biggest films. Is this a espionage kind of spy crime film? Grace is gonna love all of these. She loves noir and crime films. Judging by the diamond thief hand on the front, I'm guessing that's like a heist film. which is always great. Yes, Ethan Edwards just said great heist film. All very impressive titles. Great selection. Yeah, dude had an incredible collection. I feel like I'm underselling him. I couldn't like say enough good things about him in that other video. But yeah, such a huge noir collection that I knew was coming, because that was the big thing when we first started talking about movies. He was like, I love noir, it's my favorite genre, and he has a ton of it. And we're gonna get into even more of it that's not in the Criterion collection here in a minute. This next one is another Antonioni. That's how I said it. Antonioni film. This is one that people were telling me to check out earlier. La Ventura. I've heard a lot about this film, and I think this is one of his other masterpieces that people were talking about earlier. So I've got to get to his filmography at some point. I've seen this one actually at Half Price Books, I think, before, and I think I read the back. Yeah, I'm familiar with this one a little bit, but yeah, La Ventura. Another great one. I'm sure. if I can trust you guys in the chat, which of course I can. You guys are always great. I need some more water. Completely out of water. My voice is leaving me. That is going to do it for the Criterion. Oh, interesting. Kevin House says Rafifi is known for its 30-minute silent heist scene. That's really intriguing to me because I love silent films in general. And when a talkie film can work just fine silently, I really appreciate that. That's one of my favorite things. So we've finished. We're done with the Criterion Blu-rays. There were just 3. John says, if you're in the mood for some beautiful existentialism, pop in La Ventura. Okay. Good to know. Good to know what I'm getting in for there. Interesting. Antonioni and Monica Vitti were an item at the time of La Ventura, and it shows. Okay. So you can see that in the filmmaking. Good to know. Daniver says it's a great crime caper. Moving on from the Criterion Blu-rays, let's get over here. We've got 3 Criterion DVDs, which you guys will be excited about. I grabbed these because I think these are out of print. I've not seen these in stores, obviously. These are old Criterion DVDs with the line logo at the top. We have Kind Hearts and Coronets, directed by Robert Hammer, which is a film I know nothing about, but I have seen that cover pop up quite a bit on eBay. Let me see. They're still talking about charades. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to start a war. Oh, I love this. I love the colors on this. I don't have a lot of these old, like, double disc, thicker Criterion DVDs, so I'm excited to have this one. Even though I know nothing about this, but I do love the artwork. I love the kind of collage paper cutout artwork on the front of this. Is this kind of is this a comedy? Yes! One of the most wickedly black comedies ever made. Okay, this is going to the top of the list. Grace and I love black comedies. We've been watching a lot of Coen Brothers films recently, and a lot of other black comedies that we love. We have, I mean, last year with the Triangle of Sadness was one of our favorite movies from last year. King Hearts and Coronets is a black comedy. Awesome. Kind Hearts is a good snag, says SC. John says Kind Hearts is amazing. Daniverse, Kind Hearts and Coronets contains one of my favorite performances ever in Alec Guinness. Sweet. I'm very excited about this one. I should be writing this down. Someone take notes. Who's taking notes for me for all the films that I've said I need to put at the top of the list, because I can't watch this video back. It's already 2 hours and 44 minutes. Wow. We're doing better than I thought, actually. We might not have to go too long past 3 hours. You guys are troopers. We've consistently kept the same number of audience. Can't believe there's that many people here still watching me just meander around talking about random movies. 90 Weeks. The line logo. The first Criterions I bought. Old like the pyramids. Dude, I wish I was collecting back then. So some of you guys are so much cooler than me because you've been into this for years and years. I don't know why you pay attention to me because I've only been doing this for 2 years. I'm such a noob, but I'm diving in head first, dude. I really like that release. I gotta remember to watch that one. And then The Testament of Dr. Mabuse? Is that how you say that? Mabuse? John brought this up earlier when we were talking about Fritz Lang films. There it is. Ah! Oh, what a cool cover. Oh, this is amazing. Is this a Fritz Lang film? Yes, a film by Fritz Lang. Oh, this has got to be out of print, right? I've never seen this. Is there a Blu-ray of this? Oh, interesting. Paul kept his original sticker on the inside of there. Put it behind the beautiful booklet. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh. Do I go Die Nibelungen? Do I go M? Or do I go Testament of Dr. Mabuse? That is the question. Let me know which Fritz Lang film I should watch first. I've got more coming because he is a huge Fritz Lang fan. God, Paul was such a cool guy. So much cooler than me. It sucks what happened to him. But yeah, Testament of Dr. Mabuse. It looks amazing. Look at that cover. John, Grace would like it. It's also the inspiration for the musical A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, if you're familiar with that. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, so yes, Mabuse. Okay, so I was saying it right. Just purchased They Live by Night, a Missing Ray film in my collection. Sweet. Well, I now have it too. Thank you, Brent. Thank you guys who've been here the whole time. You guys are amazing. I can't believe we've kept such a crazy amount of you on here. This is a once-in-a-lifetime video. I'm never going to have this big of a collection again. I mean, I hope I don't inherit another collection in unfortunate circumstances, but you guys are amazing. You've made this this whole experience worthwhile because even though I need water and I'm gonna lose my voice here in a second, I am having a blast talking to you guys about this man's incredible collection. He's such a cool guy. The Ryan Knight says, I think there's a Kino Lorber Blu-ray. Okay, for Dr. Mabuse, that makes sense. I do like to have the Criterion anyway. There's a couple that I want to get the Criterion for, even though there are Blu-rays later. One of those, of course, being Spine Number 1. Oh, I'm never going to remember the name right now, but it was a great film. I watched it last year around Christmas time because the film ends on Christmas. And I consider it a Christmas film, even though it's not. It's only the ending that takes place at Christmas, but I feel like the themes are all about like goodwill to men and treating others no matter what your colors are. What is it called? What's Spine Number 1? It's only available on DVD. It's long out of print. There is a Blu-ray from another label, but I want to get that DVD because I really enjoyed that film. Very funny film, but also very heartwarming and hit me hard. Since I do consider it a Christmas film, I think it's way up at the top. One of my favorite Christmas films, and yet I can't remember the name when I'm on the spot here. What is it called? You'll let me know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Spine Number 1 in the Criterion Collection. Only available on DVD. Let's move on to the last Criterion DVD here. Another one that I'm very excited to get because I wanted to get the 4K of this. Grand Illusion. Thank you, SC, for the win and 90 Weeks right at the same time. Grand Illusion is an amazing film. Everybody check out Grand Illusion. And I think it's appropriate to watch around December. Spartacus. Another out-of-print Criterion DVD. So cool that he had this. I guess that's another Kubrick film for the collection, for my very small Kubrick but growing Kubrick collection. I really wanted to get the 4K of this, but it's expensive. It's pricey. It went out of print real quick, and maybe I'll get it eventually, depending on how much I love this film, but very happy to have the Criterion DVD. Yes, I am aware of the Grand Illusion Blu-ray, and it looks cool. It's got a nice slipcover and everything. So I'll probably get that eventually, but I do still want, that Criterion Spine Number 1 DVD in the collection. All right, let's go ahead and go to Kino Lorber. We've got some really great stuff here. Really happy to have those Criterion out of print DVDs. That's the end of Criterion. So if you're only here for the Criterion, you can see yourself out. No, don't do that. Obviously, there's a lot of great stuff still coming up. Please don't leave. There's a bunch more cool labels besides Criterion. Even though that's the main focus of this channel, I have been branching out and getting I've been getting some Kino Lorbers lately. I've been getting really into Arrow lately, particularly Arrow Academy. I have an amazing Arrow Academy box set, 10 films from one of my absolute favorite directors that I have not revealed yet, and I haven't been able to get around to putting out an unboxing video of it. It's still sealed up there. I'm so pumped that I have it. I need to open it because there's a lot of summer films in that box set. I've told John about it, so don't spoil it, John. But I got to do an unboxing of that video. I'm going to do an unboxing video on that set from Arrow Academy ASAP so that I can open it and watch some of those summer films before summer's over. And I have to wait till after Criterion month because, like I said, this month is swamped. Look what we got, guys. Look what we got. Too bad Connor had to leave. He's going to be pumped about this. Hopefully you're watching after the fact, Connor, because it's Metropolis, the Kino Lorber release, and it's the lenticular version. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's incredible. It's an amazing, immaculate condition. It's the Kino Lorber complete Metropolis with the missing footage put back in there. I watched this recently at the Strand Theater down in downtown Marietta at the Marietta Square. That's also the theater where I met John, who's been in the chat the whole time. Thank you so much, John, for being here. John was working for TCM, and he was presenting. I don't know if he presented. Did you present at Metropolis? I don't think you presented at Metropolis. Maybe you did, but first time I saw him at the theater was when he was presenting for TCM for the silent film presentation of The Phantom of the Opera. And The Phantom of the Opera, they do these organ accompaniment with silent films at this really cool theater called The Strand, not too far from me. I used to live even closer to it. We've moved now, but that's where John first saw me. First time I've ever been recognized in public, and it'll probably never happen again. But John knew me from my videos, and he saw me in the crowd when he was presenting, because I went to see Phantom of the Opera with my wife and a couple friends. Really, really cool experience. Love the live organ music. And there was also a Phantom of the Opera costume party beforehand. It was really fun. I didn't participate, but it was fun to watch. John says he wasn't presenting at Metropolis. So yeah, he saw me for the first time at the Phantom of the Opera. And then later on, I saw the epic film. Oh, what is that film you guys are playing on Easter? King of Kings. So I went back for another silent film organ accompaniment presentation for King of Kings, and John actually, I ran into him during the intermission. We met in the lobby and we talked. That was the first time we ever spoke in person for just a minute or two, and then we went back and finished King of Kings. So that was how I met John. And I also saw this there at the same theater, the complete version, the longest film I've ever seen at the Strand Theater. And I can't believe they put out this gorgeous lenticular Kino release with a slipcase. Oh, so excited about that. That's gorgeous. Whew. Let me see. What are we doing in the chat? Looks like people are talking to each other. All right. Here it is, guys. This might be the coolest thing out of everything we've talked about so far. I'm so excited to have this. This is something that was on my wish list forever. I'm gonna have to remove it from my wish list on Amazon because now I own it. 12-disc collection from Kino Lorber. It's the Fritz Lang Silent Films box set. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Somebody mentioned this earlier and I kept my mouth shut because I knew it was coming up. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. I can sell my copy of Die Nibelungen now because it is included in this set. I need to... Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So it comes with the booklet in the slipcase, but it's also a complete digibook itself. Each film, or maybe a couple films, are they individual? Yeah, it looks like they're individual. So we've got the Spiders. Oh, this is the coolest digibook I've ever seen. And then we've got The Wandering Shadow. Oh my gosh, did he make a samurai film? Oh, it's Harakiri again and The Wandering Shadow. So there you go. 2 more films. Jeffrey Patron says that's a wonderful set. I know, dude. I'm so pumped. Oh my gosh. And then you've got 4 Around the Woman. I guess I'm going to go through all of this because this is an amazing set. 12 discs. Then you've got Destiny. This is going to be... I've been thinking about doing a top 10. Oh, there's Dr. Mabuse again. But it doesn't say The Testament. Is that a different film? Did he do a silent film first, Dr. Mabuse the Gambler, and then he did a feature-length sound film also? Interesting. That's a 2-disc set. And then we have, there it is, Die Nibelungen. Nibelungen. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but there's 2 discs, obviously, because there are 2 films in that, or 2 parts. Then you've got Metropolis again, right there, and Spies, and Woman in the Moon, and The Plague of Florence. I keep thinking about the end, but I'm not. There it is, Plague of Florence. So Ethan says Testament was later. Okay, so cool. So is it a remake, or is it a sequel? Or is it just a completely unrelated film with the same character? So intriguing. I got to get into Fritz Lang, man. Evan, who's been on the channel before, and I'm probably going to meet up with him tomorrow at Barnes & Noble. We're going to shoot another Criterion haul video. His wife is a huge Fritz Lang fan. She went to film school, and I think he's one of her favorite filmmakers. So I've talked about Fritz Lang with her. She's going to be jealous of this. This is an amazing set. Holy cow. My gosh. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Everyone's talking up all the films in the set. Ethan Edwards says Spiders, Spies, Die Nibelungen, Metropolis, Mabuse, all great. And then 90 Weeks says Spies and Women on the Moon are superb. So it sounds like all the films in here are amazing. That's going to be quite the adventure going through all of those. I'm going to have to set aside time. I've already got too many goals for this year. Maybe next year I will tackle Fritz Lang's filmography because I love what I've seen, obviously. Hello. And then now we've got that. But keep the Fritz Lang coming because we also have the Kino Lorber individual version of Spies, which I guess I don't need because it's in that set. Looks like you found this also at CD Warehouse for only $11.99. That's really cool. Haven't seen Spies, but I love the cover art on that. Next up, we're going to go with we're keeping the Kino Lorber train going. This is Kino Classics from the archives of the Library of Congress, Edward G. Robinson, Joan Bennett, Dan Duryea in Fritz Lang's Scarlet Street. So we've moved out of the silent era for Fritz Lang, and now we're into Scarlet Street, which looks kind of like a film noir-y crime type thing. Anybody seen Scarlet Street? Another Fritz Lang movie? I think I'm going to have like Fritz Lang's complete filmography after this. Kyle's Movies collection, I have to jump off, but I'll definitely go back to rewatch this video. Thank you for going through all those wonderful films. Thank you so much for popping in, Kyle. And thank you for watching the replay. I can't thank you guys enough for caring at all about what I have to say. And yeah, maybe I underestimated how big of a feat this was going to be going through all of this, but I'm glad I did because I'm having a good time doing it. John says Scarlet Street is a great noir. I thought that's what it looked like. And other people chiming in. Lots of people chiming in about Scarlet Street. Sorry, there's a little bit of a lag, but it's been working out so far. Kevin says he mentioned Scarlet Street earlier in the chat. I'll bet he also had Woman in the Window. You're right on it, Kevin House. You're right on the money. There it is. The Woman in the Window. So another Fritz Lang, and I think that might be the end of our Fritz Lang. So we've got a lot of Fritz Lang films to go through. So these are both film noirs. That's really cool. Fritz Lang and film noirs. So 2 of his loves combined into one. Video Stash has also seen Scarlet Street. Not going to go down that rabbit hole right now because I've got a lot of films to get through. Senior Sticks. DJ, does your wife worry you might be becoming a hoarder? No. She's always incredibly supportive and enthusiastic about my passion for collecting. And if anything, she convinces me to buy more than I try to do myself because I'm always the one who's like talking myself out of it. And she's always like, no, go for it. You only live once. But yeah, she's great. She is not worried about me becoming a hoarder yet. We'll see. We'll see when I fill up these shelves. Next, we've got 99 River Street. Another Kino Lorber Studio classic. Another film noir from the looks of it. We've finally moved past Fritz Lang. And this is, I don't know who directed this. It's not immediately clear. Edward Small? Edward Small directed this? And then moving out of the film noirs, well, maybe not. We've got another one here from Orson Welles called The Stranger. 35mm archival restoration. Academy Award nominee for Original Motion Picture Story 1946. It's an old Kino Lorber. Look at that case. There's Library of Congress right at the top. 1946 film from Orson Welles. This is after? Yeah, so having directed two masterpieces, Citizen Kane and The Magnificent Ambersons, Orson Welles delved into the suspense film, crafting a Baroque post-war thriller that drew upon the style of his previous work. Interesting. So we've got an Orson Welles film in there. I don't think we've talked about him at all tonight. Stranger. Next up, we've got... This is really cool. I actually have these films, but I love this release that combines The General and Three Ages from Buster Keaton. Ooh, Video Stash, big fan of The Stranger. He says it watches like a Hitchcock suspense film. Sweet. A Hitchcock-esque film by Orson Welles. That sounds amazing. Getting some Buster Keaton on the list. I told you he was a fan of classic comedy as well. I did a huge Buster Keaton haul last year. I tried to track down all of the Kino Lorber slipcovers. I don't think I've shown those off yet. I did a short about them really quickly, but I have all of those. So I do have this film, but I don't have this edition that includes The General and Three Ages and has this artwork on the front. The General's an amazing film. Another film like The Quiet Man that I just had an incredible time with. Such a fun movie. Didn't watch that with Grace, though. I watched that solo and had... I don't know why I had such an incredible time with The General, but really liked it. And then Three Ages is also on that set from Kino Lorber. 2K restorations and a bunch of bonus features. That's very cool. Okay, Kevin House says Phil Carlson directed 99 River Street, but I had to look that one up in my book. Okay, yeah, it doesn't say anywhere on the case, but good to know. Thanks for that, Kevin. Here we go. This is okay. So we've got one indicator release, which is very cool. Looks like he grabbed this because it's another noir film. What year is this? Wow, this is number 16. In the spine number 16 for indicator, and it is 1953 film, hard cop and a soft aim in a brass knuckle thriller, The Big Heat. The Big Heat. Always happy to have indicator releases. I love their packaging, and their cases look really cool. I have not seen enough indicator films. I only have three indicators separate releases, and then of course I've got the Harryhausen Volume 1, Volume 2, and Sinbad trilogy box sets. Those are amazing. Those are some of my most prized things in my collection. But yeah, The Big Heat is another indicator release. Very cool to see that. What do we got here? Crisscross. Okay, so we're getting into Shout Select, which I don't have much of at all. I only have the Magnificent 7 that Shout Select just put out this year, the 4K of that. And then I just picked up Fern Gully from Shout Select Kids. So I don't have a lot of Shout Select films. He had a few here, so we're going to go through these. I'm assuming they're all noir films because that seems to be when he branched out to other labels, was when he was collecting for his noir collection. John says, so you might have every Lang film at this point. Wow, that's incredible. So cool that he was such a Fritz Lang enthusiast and had collected all of those. Orion Night, that Harryhausen set is so beautiful. All of them are. They're so great. Like I said, some of my favorite things I own. We've got the Volume 1 right there in the green, Volume 2 in the orange, and then the Sinbad trilogy is being covered by my mic, but it's back there, right there. Some of the coolest things I own. Some of the most rare things I own. Paid a pretty penny for it, and then right after that, of course, they did a re-release, as always happens. But no, I don't regret it. I'm very thankful to have first printings of those box sets. This is Crisscross. When you double cross a double crosser, it's crisscross. Burt Lancaster, DeCarlo, and Duryea again. Seems like he did a lot of noir films around this time. What year is this? 1948? 1949. Okay, so another Late 40s, early 50s noir film from Shout Select. Very cool. Always nice to get into some new labels that I'm not familiar with. John says, no, I'm wrong. He did a lot more, but still impressive. Yeah, I think he was very prolific. But I do have a good amount, at least a lot. I have, silent films at least. Another Shout Select. This is Veronica Lake and Robert Preston in This Gun for Hire. From TV Guide, outstanding film noir which presents one of the most disturbed and disturbing killers ever to cross the screen. Color me intrigued. That sounds interesting. That's a 1942 film noir, also from Shout Select. And then the last one here from Shout Select that he found, I don't know where he found this. That's a price tag that I've never seen, but $14.95. It is. Look at the side because that sticker's covering up. The Blue Dahlia. The Blue Dahlia. A George Marshall production. It's Veronica Lake again. So Veronica Lake is in both of these. I wonder if that's why he picked them both up. But yeah, the Blue Dahlia is that. What's the Blue Dahlia? I need to know what that is now. Is that a gem? Is it a jewel? Is it a code word? I guess I'll have to find out. But yeah, there we go. 3 film noirs from Shout Select. Kevin says Crisscross is considered one of the great noirs. So really cool that Shout Select is putting those out. I like their little branding at the bottom there. Very cool. I love learning about new labels all the time, and we're getting more labels all the time. I just heard today about another label that is coming soon from Serial at Midnight. Everyone knows Serial at Midnight is a huge physical media channel here on YouTube. Check out his stuff because he's incredible. And he was talking about a new label that is coming soon, and I got really excited because he said they were putting out the black and white version of Scarlet Letter, but it's the 1934 version, not the 20s version, which is my favorite version. Maybe I haven't seen the 30s version, but the 20s version is incredible. It's by Victor Shorstrom, same director who did the Phantom Carriage. And I was like, oh yes, we're finally getting it, because there's no Blu-ray. No Blu-ray. Criterion needs to get on that. Kino, somebody needs to get on that Scarlet Letter from the 1920s, because Victor Shorstrom is one of my favorite directors. I loved all 3 of his films that I've seen. Phantom Carriage is one of my favorite silent films, maybe my favorite silent film. And he also has a film about a clown called The Man Who Gets Slapped. And I can't wait to see that film. It's on my Amazon wish list. I gotta get it. Only available on DVD, but one of my favorite directors. So someone please get on that. I don't even think there's a DVD of that Scarlet Letter film. It's very hard to find, but I thoroughly enjoyed it when I watched it on TCM. Kevin House, the Blue Dahlia is excellent. By the way, Veronica Lake and one of my favorite real names, Constant Okelman. Interesting. So Veronica Lake was a screen name. One of the greatest Hollywood pairings with fewest movies together, 90 weeks. I assume he's talking about Veronica Lake and Robert Preston, who are in, or maybe he's talking about the Blue Dahlia. Ethan Edwards says Criterion, Kino, and Warner Archive are my 3 favorite boutique labels. They're up there, man. Like I said, I've been getting into Arrow Academy lately too, which is also a great one. And Indicator's great. They're all great. The Man Who Gets Slapped, I have it on Warner Archive DVD. That's the one, 90 weeks. That's the one that's in my Amazon wish list, and I'm going to buy it. I was this close to buying it a couple weeks ago when the circus was in town, and I took the kids, and I was in a circusy mood, and that's when I watched La Strada. That's when I rewatched The Circus again. That's when we watched Dumbo as a family. I was in such a circus mood. I watched circus movies all week. I watched Santa Sangre from Alejandro Jodorowsky, which is a crazy film that I thoroughly enjoyed. I don't know if enjoyed is the right word for a Jodorowsky film, but I was blown away, and I couldn't get it out of my head for weeks, and listened to the score for weeks. Such a good score by a guy who doesn't do a lot of scores. I wish he did more work, because that Santa Sangre score is incredible. But yeah, I was this close to buying The Man Who Gets Slapped, the Warner Archive DVD on Amazon, because it's really cheap. But I just didn't get to it, and I watched a bunch of other circus movies that week. But that's number 1 on my list. Jostrom? I don't know how to say his last name, the director of that film, but he's one of my favorite directors. John says Jostrom also did a great silent film with Lillian Gish called The Wind. I need Criterion to get on that one. I'll buy anything from Jostrom at this point. He's earned my trust. I haven't seen The Wind, but I've seen it on Letterboxd when I was looking at Jostrom's filmography. It's like basically Phantom Carriage is number 1, then The Wind, then The Man Who Gets Slapped, then Scarlet Letter. So those are all his big ones. I gotta see him. I gotta see those other two. Yeah, Ethan Edwards. Arrow does nice transfers, but they put out a lot of bad movies. Yeah, they're certainly a different audience, which doesn't line up with my sensibilities very much. But they put out some fun movies. I just bought the I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I just bought the Waterworld 4K that they just put out, and me and Grace watched that a few nights ago and had a blast. I don't think that. Well, I understand why people hate that movie, but I think it's fun. It's just a fun ride. Which is all I needed it to be. Kevin Costner's delightfully terrible. Warner Archive has put out a lot of what I want to get. Yes, Video Stash. They're putting out a lot of good stuff. Kevin says, yes, John, use your influence to get that done. He wants The Wind in the Criterion Collection as well. I'm down. Anytime they're going to put one of his films in the collection, I will buy it. So it's pronounced Sjostrom. Sjostrom. See, that's what I used to say, but then I was like, maybe I should hit the hard J. Maybe I don't, I was hitting the S, but I guess I should stick with what I was doing and not hit the hard J. Sjostrom. Victor Sjostrom. He's German, right? Am I right about that? John says, I know some people at Criterion. I'll reach out. Well, please do, John. I didn't know you knew people at Criterion. Can you connect me? Can we get some review copies in here? I actually didn't know Criterion did review copies, but there's this incredible, I highly recommend you guys, if you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok just for this one guy, David. Can't remember his last name right now, but I should look up his last name. He is incredible. He is putting out TikTok content like daily. He has like 8,000 followers over there. He only does Criterion stuff. Well, he dabbles in a little bit of other boutique labels, but he's the most knowledgeable person about Criterion I've ever met. He has a complete Criterion collection. He's been to the closet. He's visited the Criterion offices. He knows everything about Criterion. He does mostly podcast appearances and then his videos on TikTok. He just showed off an unboxing of an early review copy of the Western box set that is coming soon to 4K. And I was like, I didn't even know Criterion did review copies. How do I get on that? Probably have to have a lot bigger audience before I can get any of that happening. But yeah, he's an incredible content creator over there, and he's one of my favorite guys over there. He puts out a lot of good stuff, and I always learn something from his videos about Criterion. Swedish, okay. Sjostrom is Swedish, not German. Excuse me. John, interesting with the tidbits, says he went by Seastrom in Hollywood. Probably because we were butchering his name like I've been doing the entire stream. Apologies, Victor. I hate that I did that. Let me see. Ask them. Or everyone's just asking John to reach out to Criterion and put things on Blu-ray. Sorry, John. You signed up for this when you said that last comment. Seastrom has some very beautiful films. Silent films. I've loved the ones I've seen. I've only seen 2 or 3, but I got to see the rest of them because really, really like his stuff. Man, I can't say enough good things about Phantom Carriage. That needs to be one I start watching every year because I really, really love that film. All right, we finished that stack of boutique stuff. Put that on the floor. I guess Warner Archive is still technically boutique, so we've got some more stuff over here, but this is mostly Warner Archive and other Warner Brothers stuff. So we're going to pop this stack. We've got one more stack. Last stack. Oh, we've done it. We finished the marathon. We're over 3 hours at this point. This is the craziest video I've ever done. And I'm forgetting how to speak. Let me see. Everyone's talking about Peeping Tom. Here we go. Not silent comedies, but some early comedies from the Marx Brothers. This is 4 legendary brothers, 5 newly restored classics. The Marx Brothers. This includes The Coconuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, and Duck Soup. This it looks like it's still sealed, but it's not sealed. He just kept the wrap on there, but it is open over here. This is an incredible looking set, and I have not seen any of these films. This is put out by Universal. This is a blind spot for me. I haven't seen any Marx stuff, but I've been told that I should check this stuff out. Very cool booklet in here from Universal. This kind of looks like a boutique set, even though it's Universal. I didn't know Universal put out stuff like this. But yeah, it's got commentaries on all 4 of the films. There's the bonus features listed. This looks like a really nice set. I love that they put the original posters on there. I love those posters. But yeah, my dad used to watch Marx Brothers films, and when he was growing up, and I've been told that they are great films to show your kids once they hit a certain age. So I gotta watch through those and see when I can share those with my kids, because I think Judah especially will find those humorous, because he loves Chaplin. He loved Lloyd. We watched Lloyd's famous film with the building that, of course, I can't think of right now. That one has some slower parts that's hard to keep. He was only like 3 when I showed it to him, but definitely the ending all the way up the building, he was riveted the entire time, and that's a great movie. So yeah, different. Obviously, this isn't Keaton or Chaplin or Lloyd. Very different, but the Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. Awesome to have that in the collection, and a very unique piece that I'm glad to have. Let's see. People are talking about that. Let me go back a little bit here, because I don't want to skip this conversation. John says those are good Marx Brothers movies. Ethan says Duck Soup is a masterpiece. And Kevin says Duck Soup is his favorite Marx Brothers film. And Video Stash says Horse Feathers and Duck Soup are the top 2 in his opinion. Don't start with the coconuts. It's rough, says Video Stash. And John says fair. Thank you, Orion Knight. It is called Safety Last. I don't know why I couldn't think of that in the moment. Probably because I've got 5 million movie titles in my head right now. Oh, I'm so excited to have this. I think this is actually a pretty tough digipack or digibook to find. I remember when Connor found a copy of this for a good price, he was very excited about it, and he ranted and raved about it to me. It's Mutiny on the Bounty with this beautiful digibook release. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. Lovely yellow spine and yellow carried throughout the entire digibook. Beautiful images in there. Oh, this is like a murderer's row for awards here. Academy Award nominations: Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Actor, 2 Best Actors in a Leading Role, 3 Best Actors in a Leading Role, Best Director, Best Film Editing, Best Music, and Best Writing. Look at that. So many awards it fills up the entire back, or so many nominations it fills up the entire back. Is that right, that 3 leading actors were from the same film? That's insane. And also 1 Best Picture. That's, wow. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Connor watched this in the first Adventure Through November month-long series that we did. He popped in Mutiny on the Bounty right when he found this digibook. So I'm very excited to have that in the collection, put out by Warner Brothers. Oh, they put out... Warner Brothers is great. They put out... I mean, Disney doesn't hold a candle to Warner Brothers in the physical media space. Like, they put out such nice sets. They always have. And I love their stuff. Let's see what people are saying about Mutiny on the Bounty. Gus loves Mutiny on the Bounty. And Kevin House's dad liked Mutiny on the Bounty a lot. It's a classic. Sweet. That is... I'm very excited to check that one out. Connor spoke very highly of that one when he picked it up. And now, another film that I watched in our first... Wow, this is weird that these lined up together. I watched this film in our first Adventure Through November, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Connor and I, like we did for our Spooktober challenge, watched nothing but adventure films through the whole month of November. Other people do Spooktober months. That's like a common thing. I'm pretty proud that I came up with Adventure Through November. I don't know if anyone else has done it yet. Hopefully it catches on. I want to do another one this year because it was a lot of fun. And I love adventure films, and I watched this one in the first year we did that, The African Queen, another Bogey film, and a Katharine Hepburn film. What a charming movie. Like, not a lot going on. Maybe the simplest plot I've ever seen in a film ever, but God, they're charming together. I liked it quite a bit. You can't go wrong with Humphrey Bogart and an older performance from Katharine Hepburn. Is this one of the ones that she was nominated for? I know she was nominated later in her career for Summertime, but I can't remember if she was nominated for this or not. That's a great release, though. Look at that. Lovely slipcover. Looks super great. And a standard Warner Brothers. Oh, this is Paramount. This is actually Paramount. Okay. Jump into Paramount. Let's see. African Queen is getting a 4K release soon. Okay, sweet. Well, I don't know if I'll be compelled to pick that up or not. I think the Blu-ray will be enough for me, but I'm glad that's getting a better release. I wonder what label's putting that out. Denver says she was also in Bogart's Oscar winner. Jeffrey E. Patron, movie theme months are such a fun concept to do. Solid idea with adventure flicks. Thanks, man. I had a blast doing it. It was a lot of fun. And hopefully we can do it again this month. It's tough because November is also a Criterion sale month, so I'm buying a lot of Criterion stuff, but who knows? I should probably take off the November Criterion sale after this giant uptick in Criterions that I now have. I almost added 100 new spine numbers to the collection, so I should probably chill out for a little bit on the sales. John says she was basically nominated for everything. Yeah, I guess so. I should have said one. If this is one that she won for, because I think she won for Summertime. That's what I meant to say. Keep it going. Okay, so everyone's just kind of talking. Yeah, I really hope we can do that monthly adventure through November again, because I like doing theme months. It's really fun. Here's another music film that I'm very excited to pick up, because even though I'm not a Beatles fan, I'm a big animation fan, and I have watched, it's not a Beatles film, but is it The Point? I think it's called The Point. Animated film in this same style, and stars one of the Beatles narrating it. This is the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, which obviously I've heard a bunch about because I'm a big animation fan, and I hear about it in those circles. And this is a really nice slipcase release. Actually, it's a digipack. Slides out from the side. I have not seen this. I've seen a lot of things inspired by this art style, though. Like I said, I watched The Point right after this, which is narrated by Ringo himself. It's like a little fairy tale story about, yeah, I don't know how to explain The Point. If you haven't seen The Point, it was on Criterion Channel for a little bit. I think it's gone now, but I watched it with my son. He thoroughly enjoyed it. Great little animated film, kind of based on the same style. And there is a boutique label release of it, but it's a very obscure boutique label. Someone's gonna have to look that up for me because I do not remember which label put that out, but I really want it because that was a fun movie. This is Yellow Submarine, which is a beautiful digipack release. Oh, looks great. And then it's got, oh wow, it's got this booklet, which is pretty hefty, probably about 10 pages. And then it has these Beatles art cards, way back before everyone was doing art cards, but they're like plexiglass. Very cool. You got John, you got Paul, you got George, you got Paul, and you got John. It's like all my friends' names that have been on the channel, except for Ringo. And then you've got stickers. It's a really cool release. And then you've got All You Read Is Love, which is, I think, just an advertisement. But look at that digipack inside. That's awesome. You've got this is like the submarine on the outside. You've got the portholes. Appropriate. Submarines are back in the news, unfortunately. That's that whole story. But yeah, let me know if you've seen this. I would like to show this to my kids. Is it too... I don't know if it's appropriate for kids or not. I'm going to have to watch it first and see. But I was saying, not only have I seen The Point, but another filmmaker who was inspired by this animation style is the director of Johnny Corncob, and that's the American title. I can't remember what the Hungarian title is, but Hungarian animated filmmaker, incredible stuff. He put out, what is that movie called? What is that Hungarian filmmaker? His film about the horse. It's based on Hungarian folklore, and it is incredible. I cannot remember what his name is at this moment, but his animation style kind of takes this and pushes it even further and is incredible. I really, really love his stuff. And I can't wait to watch this, which kind of inspired him. Let me know what you think of the Yellow Submarine. Oh, man, that's going to kill me. Horse? Something horse. Oh, I'm going to have to go back there and find it right after I do this video because I loved both of his films, and they both came out on a release that I bought right away because my son really loved one of them. Let's see. This next one is Murder, My Sweet. This is a Warner Archive film starring Dick Powell and Claire Trevor. And it looks to be another noir film. So we're getting into the Warner Archive stuff. Son of the White Mare. Thank you, Patrick Craig, coming in clutch. Oh, Son of the White Mare. One of the best animated films I've ever seen. Everybody go watch Son of the White Mare. There is a Blu-ray put out by another tiny obscure boutique label, but he made Son of the White Mare, and then János Vitéz, Hungarian film director who made the coolest animated films you'll ever see. Incredible scores on both of those as well, especially János Vitéz is love the score on that film. Beautiful films, especially Son of the White Mare. If you're into like classic folklore, like just straight up folklore adaptation, like doesn't even try to turn it into like a clever narrative, just like straight up adapts it with the most beautiful, surreal, out there, bonkers animation style. It's so cool. Son of the White Mare is awesome. Definitely not. I did show it to my kid when he was like 2. That's one of those ones that like when they're babies, they'll watch because it's like pretty colors and stuff, but it is in Hungarian, and tried to watch it again with him when he was like 4 and he wasn't interested anymore. So it's like show it to him young and then wait a little bit and watch it when they're older because, you know, it is hard, a little bit hard to pay attention. But Stonebreaker, there's like 3 of these like archetypal godlike beings, and it's kind of like his quest, like Homer's Odyssey or something. And Stonebreaker, like as he's going on his hero's journey, like comes across these other 2 and he wrestles them and it's just like adapted straight from the source material, and he like throws them in the ground. And my son, when he was 2, used to love Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker, I don't think, whichever the main one is, tree stomper, tree uprooter, something like that. The main guy, and then the other 2 join him, and there's like this trinity of gods. It's crazy. It's awesome. One of my favorite memories with my son is Son of the White Mare. It's a really crazy movie. But this is Murder, My Sweet. Has nothing to do with Son of the White Mare. And then we're going to move on to another Warner Archive collection. This is Angels with Dirty Faces. Angels with Dirty Faces. Let's get back to film noirs because nobody cares about Son of the White Mare and my fascination with foreign animation films. So we've got Murder, My Sweet. We've got Angels with Dirty Faces, 2 Warner Archive films. And then we've got another Warner Archive right here. We keep them coming. This one is Out of the Past. Kirk Douglas, Rhonda Fleming, and Richard Webb, which I'm assuming is obviously another noir film. It seems like he rated the whole Warner Archive collection of all of their noir films. So many great classics, says the Orion Knight. I know, man, it's going to be impossible to catch up on all of these. Oh, another Michael Curtiz, says John. That is good to know. They're not selling it on him on the cover, but good to know that. And John says, ooh, Angels is great. Sweet. So Angels with Dirty Faces, Out of the Past, and let's see if there's any more. Okay, I think we're past Warner Archive, but we got some more Warner Brothers films. This is Bogart and Bacall, the complete collection, which includes To Have and Have Not, The Big Sheep, Dark Passage, and Key Largo. 4 films between Bogart and this leading lady. Lindsay Cheek says, I care. I love animation. Check out Son of the White Mare if you love animation, if you haven't seen it already, because it's amazing. But yeah, 4 films, 2 of the screen's greatest lovers in their 4 films together. This is awesome. I love, see, again, Warner Brothers knocking it out of the park. Putting collections of films together based on the 2 leads is such a cool idea. And that looks like a great collection. Still in the shrink wrap on that one. Matt Mead, another name that I don't recognize. I don't think I've read your name yet this evening. Thanks for popping in, and thanks for leaving some comments in the chat. So Bogart, the complete collection, and he says, Out of the Past is a top-tier Robert Meacham, a top-tier noir. Robert Meacham is fantastic. Sweet. So four 40s noirs starring those two leads all in one big, thick collection. It seems like it's like a 4-disc set based on how thick that slipcover is. Whew. My voice is giving up on me. My hair is giving up on me. It's starting. Oh, we got to make it through. We're almost done. So excited about this one, though. Adventures of Robin Hood, Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland. Basil Rathbone. What an all-star cast. Maybe this is better than Captain Blood. I think I liked Captain Blood better, but this is amazing as well. I mean, everybody loves this movie. So good. Adventures of Robin Hood. I've been holding on. I held off not picking up this because it's just kind of a bare bones Warner Brothers release. They didn't really do a lot of fanfare for this one. So I was kind of waiting until hoping that one of the boutique labels would put out a nice release of this film because I absolutely loved it. Another one that I showed my son really early. Another adventure film that I think I watched during that adventure through November month, the first year. But yeah, incredible. Incredible film. I think I watched it on TCM, on just a recording. So I've never seen the Blu-ray. So I've got to watch that again. Such a fun movie. And can't wait to see it on Blu-ray. Someone said the Blu-ray looks great. That's Ethan Roberts. DJ, you're killing me with the names. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Most of these I'm saying for the very first time. So, yeah, Jeffrey Patron, more Curtiz. I know, dude. Maybe, I don't know. Is anyone with me? I think I like Captain Blood better, but this is right up there. I mean, that's nothing against Robin Hood. I just think Captain Blood was incredible. Gus says Robin Hood with Errol Flynn is so good. I know. I'm with you, dude. It's one of my favorites. Next up, we've got another. We've got another Maltese Falcon. Maltese Falcon. I mean, another Humphrey Bogart film. We've got the Maltese Falcon. Dude, I'm losing it. It's like midnight here. I've been talking for 3 hours and 30 minutes straight. Cut me some slack. I'm about to pass out. I haven't had water since hour 2, so I'm impressed my voice hasn't just completely imploded. So we've got the Maltese Falcon, which people were bringing up earlier. This had to come up at some point, obviously, with all the other things that we have seen. It's Maltese Falcon. Heard everything about it. Obviously, I will get to that at some point. 90 Weeks says, Adventure Flicks, have you seen Prisoner of Zenda, either older or newer version? Recommended. No, I have not, but I will be adding that to my Letterboxd watch list because that sounds amazing. I think I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. No. Kevin House says, sucker for vibrant Technicolor, so of course I love The Adventures of Robin Hood. Yeah. I mean, if you're going for that, obviously that has it over Captain Blood, which is a black and white film. More Peter Lorre, says the Orion Knight. Ethan Edwards is making fun of me getting people's names wrong. Hey, that's not the first time I've been called JD. A lot of people have called me JD. My laptop at my job, the job that I'm working now, when I first started working there, my laptop was filled out for JD Martinez, and I just used it like that. I didn't tell anybody for a long time until I got my next laptop. 90 Weeks says hydrate. I would, but I think everyone in my house is long asleep, and I don't want to pause the stream to go get water because that would be boring for you guys. So we're just going to knock out the rest of these, and then I'm going to go crash. We have, another film that I love, another film I've already seen. Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train. One of my favorite Hitchcock films, I think. It's definitely up there. Incredible film. And I got it on Blu-ray. And I don't think this is not one of the ones that is on the 4K sets that I have, so couldn't be happier to have that in the collection finally. That is one that I also watched on TCM. Grace and I watched that together and absolutely loved it. And that also ends at a carnival with an incredible carousel scene. So had to have that in the collection. I gotta watch that again. That's so good. Next up, we've got another archive collection from Warner, On Dangerous Ground. On Dangerous Ground. Another one that he found at CD Warehouse. I should have put those, I guess I should put those with the other Warner archives because we are racking those up. On Dangerous Ground, and then, oh, these are, oh my gosh, okay. 2 more Warner Archive collections of 4 films. I'm gonna go with the Film Noir one first. This is Film Noir Archive Collection, includes The Setup, includes Out of the Past, Murder My Sweet, and Gun Crazy. Okay, so we have doubles here. We have doubles. We have already seen Murder My Sweet, and I think we've already seen Out of the Past. Yeah, we've already seen Out of the Past. But he obviously picked up this set for Gun Crazy and The Setup. This is 4 film noirs in one, another 4-disc set from Archive Collection. And then he also has another 4-film collection from Warner Archive. And this is the Hitchcock Collection, which includes Dial M for Murder, I Confess, Suspicion, and The Wrong Man. Oh, I can't wait to, I haven't seen any of those Hitchcock films, so I can't wait to dive into more of those. And I don't think those are on the 4K sets either. So excited to have that. Like I said earlier in the stream, Grace and I love watching Hitchcock films together. And there's 4 more that we can get to, plus Strangers on a Train. This is incredible. This is amazing. I don't know how I'm ever going to get to all these films, but I mean, those are awesome. I didn't even know those 4 film sets existed. Love those. And I just dropped a lot of films on you. So, oh, and here we go. Okay, so here's another crossover. So it looks like he may have had the singles first, and then he put that, and then he bought the collection. So I might be able to sell this, although this one says, interesting. Okay, never mind. So Dial M for Murder, Alfred Hitchcock 3D, which I was like, okay, maybe I need to keep it. But this one says it includes the 2D and 3D versions. So I guess I do have the 3D version. This is a double that I will have to find something to do with. This is a 3D Blu-ray. I don't even think I can play this. Anyway, I don't think I have, I don't have the capability to play this. So I might have to do a giveaway for that or something. Give that to somebody else who can use it. Can anybody still play 3D Blu-rays? Anybody have that functionality? Because I know they don't support it anymore. So you have to have an old system. Archive Collection. Fury. Sylvia Sidney and Spencer Tracy. We've got another one here. Fury. Another one that's sealed. It seems like he was just buying up all the... Is this another Fritz Lang film? It says powerful director Fritz Lang's best American film. Fury. There's another one for the Fritz Lang pile. Got to add that to the list. It's going to take forever to archive all these in the app database. Gaslight, another archive collection starring Ingrid Bergman. That's really cool. We have the Ingrid Bergman box set from Criterion back there that my wife picked up. So there's another noir in the archive collection. Gus says he can play 3D still, but I already have that 4-pack. And Ethan Edwards says this is his first American film. Interesting. Is that a George Cukor film? Jeffrey Bertrand says he loves George Cukor. I also love George Cukor. Is this a George Cukor film? I will have to check that out because I'm a big fan of his stuff, especially his Katharine Hepburn stuff. Key Largo, which we also had in that 4-pack. So there's another double. Humphrey Bogart. And another one that I'm pumped about that I've been holding off on. I'm glad I held off because I absolutely love this film. Maybe my favorite Humphrey Bogart film that I've seen, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, another adventure film I think fits into that category. I love this movie, and I'm so glad I finally have it. Another film that I held off, hoping that a boutique label would pick it up because it's just a standard bare bones release, but here it is now, and I'm so excited to take it. I will take it. We've got The Big Combo, which looks to be another noir film. Not from Warner Brothers. This is from Olive Films, which is really cool. The Big Combo from Olive Films. I think that's my first Olive Films release. I know I mentioned the Quiet Man earlier, but I don't have that one yet. Okay, now I'm hoping for You Only Live Once. We'll see. We are almost to the end. We've got a handful of films left, under 10 here. Down to the wire. Hopefully we can make it under 4 hours. We should. Video Stash says Sierra Madre's total classic. 100% agree with you. Gus says Sierra Madre rocks. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to rewatch that one. Quotes the Badges scene, obviously. If you love Treasure, you'd love Kane Mutiny. Similar Bogart performance where he slowly goes insane. Again, I should be writing this stuff down. Kane Mutiny. Yeah, I love that film. I love what Bogart's doing in that film. Next up, we've got Desk Set. Desk Set. Katharine Hepburn film. Classic romantic comedy. Stars Hollywood legend Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. So they are romantic comedy stars. I don't know if this is a romantic comedy. Interesting. Anybody seen Desk Set? What do I know Tracy from? I know Spencer Tracy from something, and I'm not immediately remembering. But that's really interesting. Stacey Ann Hepburn in Desk Set. Man, that's going to drive me nuts. Start rattling off Tracy films, because I know him from something, and I can't think of it. Next up, another one that I'm so pumped about that I finally have, which is it's Harvey. It's Harvey. It's Jimmy Stewart. I've already mentioned him many times in the stream. One of my favorite actors of all time. And this is completely different from any other performance he's ever given. It's Harvey. First time I saw this film, the digital copy is still in here. First time I ever heard of this film. Yes, he's in the Mad, Mad, Mad World. That's right. Is that what I know him from? I know him from that, but I think there's something else. Let's see. James Stewart, Harvey. What was I saying? First time I ever saw this film or even learned about it was when I went to Oregon a couple years ago for the first time, and I checked out the last Blockbuster, and this film was on the shelf, and I was like, what is that? There's a bunny on the front. It wasn't this. It was the DVD. It has a different cover, and it was like Jimmy Stewart and a bunny, and I was like, what is that? So I looked into it, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. There's a regular on the channel who John Henry, who was in here earlier, loves Harvey, one of his favorite movies, and he can't wait for me to check it out. And now I can finally check it out. And that's going to be one that we check out sooner rather than later, because I've been wanting to check that one out. Jeffrey Petrone popping in with the classic film knowledge here. He says, Desk Set will seem so outdated it wheels around to be endearing. Okay. What year is that one? Desk Set. That might be one I like to watch with Grace. 1957. Romantic comedy. Let me see. Video Stash says Stewart kills it in Harvey. I can't wait to watch that one. I'm really excited about that. They just did a showcase of Harvey recently on TCM, which was how I found out about it. That's an exciting pickup. I'm excited about it too. That's completely different from like anything we've talked about tonight, so I'm really glad that was in here. I didn't know TCM just showed it recently. I don't have TV anymore. I canceled Hulu TV because it's insanely expensive, and I have too many movies to watch anyway. And Criterion overlaps with. It was overlapping so much with TCM that I couldn't justify paying that much for monthly TV that I wasn't using. So I did cancel it, but I'm glad that I have Harvey. Let me see. High Noon. Okay. A Western. I think it's the first Western we've talked about the whole night. High Noon, the groundbreaking Western, was voted at the 33rd greatest film of all time by the American Film Institute. There we go. High Noon. Obviously, I've heard of that film. Never seen it. Westerns is another category that I am sorely lacking in experience with. So I will check out High Noon. Grace has been in the mood for some Westerns lately. She wanted to watch a Western the other day. I think we almost watched Red River. Almost watched Red River and ended up watching Waterworld. Sorry, guys. I know you'll be upset to hear that, but we will watch Red River soon because I really like that release, and I'm excited to check it out. Speaking of Westerns, Shane. classic Western that I first heard about when everyone was talking about it when Logan came out, because that's the film they're watching. In Logan, another classic Western that I need to get on because I'm way behind. Good grief, we're just going with the classics after the classics. Straight into Sunset Boulevard. Amazing. There we go again. Another classic. Gosh, we just did High Noon, Shane, and Sunset Boulevard. 1, 2, 3 punch. John says High Noon is a masterpiece. I did an intro for that on a TCM event last fall. Awesome. So you could tell me a thing or two about that, or at least you used to be able to. We'll see how much you still retain. High Noon is amazing. It has Grace Kelly. And so is Shane. Okay. Well, I've got a lot of Westerns to get to. Sunset Boulevard. Next, we've got The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. Barbra Streisand. Wow. Elizabeth Scott. I have no idea what this is, but it's a 2-disc. Looks like he found it at CD Warehouse for $5.99. Oh, yep. Classic film noir. Doesn't get much darker than this sordid tale of betrayal, blackmail, intimidation, and murder. God, he had such a comprehensive noir film collection. The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. That is a what is that? HD Cinema Classics. I've never even heard of that label. God, he had some deep pulls in the film noir, and we've got 3 more here. Let's see. We're gonna start with Laura from 20th Century Fox Studio Classics. Another film noir. Yeah, John says, what is there to say about these movies? There are too many good ones. I'm running out of adjectives. Yeah, I told you guys, Paul, incredible guy, had such a love for film and an incredible collection. And here's another film noir from 20th Century Fox called Laura. And we have 2 final films, and I think these just got 4K releases from Kino, but these are Blu-rays that he probably had for a while. 1 from Universal, 1 from Mill Creek Entertainment. The last 2, right before my voice gives up, these are both, I think these are both Orson Welles. We got Touch of Evil and Lady from Shanghai. I heard a lot about both of these films last year when Connor tried to watch through all of Orson Welles' filmography last year. And he got through both of these, and he was talking about both of them. He loves Orson Welles, one of his favorite filmmakers. And these are 2 Orson Welles films that I've not seen. The Lady from Shanghai, and Touch of Evil. Now, are those 2 of his films that actually he got to have final say on the cut? Because I know he has a bunch of tragic stories with that. I think these are 2 of his most well-known films. I think he had, this one has 3 versions of the film. So maybe one of those versions is his preferred version. And then this Lady from Shanghai is the 4K digital restoration, but obviously it's on a Blu-ray disc, but at least it's that restoration, so it'll probably look great still. Which is another great film. Ethan Edwards says, 2 of Welles' best. 90 Weeks says excellent both. Great Orson Welles films. Touch of Evil has a 4K. Yeah, I knew about both of these. Maybe Lady from Shanghai doesn't yet, but I knew the Touch of Evil got a 4K from Kino. Jeffrey Patron says, DJ, you're such a trooper. 2 greats to end a show on. Yeah, I saved those 2. I'm glad it worked out that way, because we've got 2 incredible films from Orson Welles. That was an incredibly difficult stack to get through. My voice has had it. I'm not going to be able to speak tomorrow. Who knows if I'll even be able to shoot that Criterion video with Evan at the Barnes & Noble, but I'm going to try. We're supposed to meet early tomorrow and head out to the Barnes & Noble, but in Smyrna, actually. So if you're near Smyrna, come check it out. And then I'm going to still shoot that final Criterion Hall video with John at the Barnes & Noble over in Sandy Springs. A lot more Criterion content coming out this month. Thank you. We almost have as many people as we had when we started. Can't believe you guys stuck with it the whole time. Oh, that was an insane idea. I should have split it into 2 parts, but I'm glad we got through it. And it is an insane collection. I can't wait to spend some time this weekend cataloging all of them in the app and getting them up on the shelves where they need to be. filling out the Criterion corner and the boutique section over there, which I haven't shown you in a while, but I need to get back over there, shoot a video over there. Let's see if anyone has any closing thoughts. I'll let you guys catch up with me in the chat a little bit, but thank you guys so much. All of the troopers that's hung around for, God, what are we talking? 350. We're going on 4 hours. That was madness. That was insane. I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna be Humphrey Bogart in this video. I'm surprised I haven't. Great selection, great idea for Goodbye to Your Generous Friend. Thanks for sharing it and allowing even strangers to take part. I'm a loner. This made my day. Oh, thank you, man. I'm trying. I just really enjoy talking to you, and I mean, obviously I enjoy this. I wouldn't be doing all this crazy, insane stuff if I didn't enjoy it. So thank you guys for tuning in. You obviously make it much better. This would have been a really lame live stream if I was just sitting here by myself talking about movies that I haven't seen. But you guys made it great. Super. I'm so thankful for my subscribers. They're all super knowledgeable and a lot of fun to talk to. Kevin says, thanks, DJ, and everyone who participated in this chat. So much fun. Thanks, DJ. That was fun. From Brett. Good job from Video Stash. Good night, film lovers. Thanks for the chat. Yeah, I see. That's why I'm thinking. I know I'm a small potatoes place, but that's why I'm thinking I need to, or at least I want to make a Discord just so I can talk to all you guys together in one place, because there's not really a place I can do that, other than in the chat, and then that goes away, and that's real temporary. So maybe I will eventually get on the Discord train and start a Films by Color Discord, which will be weird because nobody else in the Discord will arrange their movies by color. Fans of Something, hey, thanks for popping in at the end. Great stream, DJ. Talk soon. Yes, Fans of Something reached out to me recently about guesting on his podcast, which is amazing, and I really hope I can do that. I did see your Instagram message. Sorry I haven't got back to you yet. It's been a crazy month with all the Criterion stuff, but yes, we'll make that happen soon. Gus, night everyone. Thank you, DJ, for the amazing stream. Thank you, Gus, for tuning in. Thanks for that super chat. I really appreciate that. Ethan Edwards, if I die, I'll leave you my collection just so you have to do a 3-day long stream. No, don't do that to me. Could you imagine how much that would cost to ship? Good Lord. I guess I could go on a road trip. Here's the plan. Ethan, if you do ever die, I want you to leave it in your will that you leave your collection to me and Connor, or throw John in there too. Let's just do a Films by Color road trip with all my guests, and we all have to ride across the country to wherever you live, Ethan, and collect your collection. Put that in the will, because that would be an amazing video. I'm kidding. I don't want you to die, obviously, but a road trip with my guests from this channel does sound like a fun idea. John says, yes, this was fun, guys. Good talking to you all. Brent says, LOL. To Ethan Edwards. And the last one of the chat, John Cooker, nice homage to your friend. You'll always be tied together through fantastic films. I know. I'm never going to forget this. I'm actually going to, like I said, you can put categories. You can kind of put categories on each film that you add to the catalog app that I use. And I usually put like different categories for things. Like I have a Criterion category, Kino Lorber category, so I can keep track of all those films. I'm going to put Paul's collection on all of these films so I can always remember which ones came to my collection from his collection, because I want to keep track of that. And also I want to keep track of that in case, someone in the family ever asks for some of them back. Like, absolutely, you can have these back at any time. They're 100% yours. And so I'm going to keep track of that. I got to enter all these into my catalog app. And put Paul's collection on all of those. But thank you guys so much. This was brutal. This is a tour de force in someone who is a shy introvert who, very barely ever speaks anyway. And I just talked for 4 hours with no co-host and no guest, and I was just talking nonstop the whole time. Can't believe I made it through. My voice is going to hate me tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, more Criterion content coming soon. And I'll be back. I think, hopefully I can get that out tomorrow. In the next few days, I'll get that second Criterion Haul video out for you guys. Thanks all. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you soon.